You should be generating income when you are on these apps, okay? Let's just go ahead and be real. Some of y'all are on here for hours upon hours. If I didn't know any better, I would think it was your part-time job. Some of y'all, your full-time job. But you're not even getting paid to be here. Make it make sense. You're on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Threads all day, and you're not even getting paid. That's diabolical because these apps are making billions of dollars. If you are not getting paid to post your content, we have a serious problem that we have to fix today. Not tomorrow, good morning, but today. Ladies, I also want you guys to understand this. You should be generating income while you are asleep. The goal is to build wealth, right? Well, we can't do that if the only time that we're making money is if we are actively working for it. At some point, you're gonna wanna take a vacation. At some point, you're gonna wanna spend time with your family. At some point, you're gonna wanna do some self-care, right? Take some days off. If you are not generating income while you are while you are asleep, we have a serious problem that we have to fix today, all right? What I want you guys to understand is you only need one digital product in your storefront. Good morning. You only need one. And that one product that you choose to create and sell will literally change your entire life. Good morning. How do I know that? Because my online business changed my life. You guys, when I first started 6 years ago, I lost 100 pounds, okay? I started during COVID. And on my weight loss journey, I learned how to eat right, I learned how to exercise, and most importantly, I fixed my mindset, good morning, and I turned all of that knowledge that I learned into an ebook. And then I started selling that ebook to other people who also wanted to learn how to lose weight too, okay? So anything, literally anything that you want to sell, you can sell, and you should. But you wanna know what the problem with you is? I'm gonna be honest. The problem with you is you live in fear. On my life, fear stands for fuck everything and run. And that's what you've been doing for a very, very long time. Some of y'all have been running away from your brilliant ideas, your million-dollar ideas for years, decades, because you're so fearful of what people are going to say. You're so fearful of looking stupid. You're so fearful of people talking about you, and you're so fearful of failing. And all of this fear that you hold on to is stealing, literally stealing your dream life from you. The life where you get to spend time with your family, the life where you get to take vacations and travel the world, the life where you have a savings account, the life where you can build financial freedom and pass down money to your children, that life. It is stealing that life from you. Yes, it is. Because every day that you hold on to that fear is another day that you could have been living that dream life that you've been praying for, but you choose not to because you choose to let fear steal it from you. We're gonna fix all of that today. Good morning. For those of y'all who have never seen my face before, hello, my name is Coach Jazz, and this morning we are going to be building our online business from scratch. I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to create your ebook, how to create it, and how to sell it. But most importantly, ladies, I'm gonna teach you how to build you. Contrary to popular belief, you are getting in your own way. See, I'm gonna tell you the truth about you, okay? We're not gonna tell no tales. It is you getting in your own way. You are holding yourself back from the greatness that you deserve because you lack consistency, you lack discipline, you lack accountability, and you lack confidence. See, some of you guys are habitual course purchasers. You done bought course after course, but you haven't fixed you. You haven't learned how to prioritize yourself in your own life. You haven't learned how to follow through with the plan and not the mood. And until you fix those things, there won't be no business. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. You won't reach not one goal. You have got to stop getting in your own way, okay? I'm gonna be giving you guys a lot of information this morning. Good morning, your head is gonna be spinning. It would be in your best interest to take notes, okay? If I know anything about you, good morning, you are human, which means you are bound to forget. Because life and stresses, right? So if you write this stuff down, anything that I do say that you happen to forget, you can still refer back to your notes and get it done. The key word of this live, ladies, is going to be execution. You are going to hear me say this word 10 million times this morning because psychology has proven that the more you hear something, the more it sticks. And I need you to get through your pretty little skull that you have got to execute the play. Success and wealth does not just fall into your bank account. You got to work for it. I don't know why we left that part out of the equation, but we're going to put it back. Just like you work and execute for your job so you can get your paycheck, you will have to execute the play in order to get the results that you want. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, okay? If I say anything this morning that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, start double tapping the screen. YouTube, I see 20 people on here and 1 thumbs up. The math ain't mathin'. TikTok, you guys as well. Believe it or not, the more we interact with this live, the more TikTok and YouTube will push this live to more people. And believe it or not, a lot of women want to change their life. They want to start businesses, they want to lose weight, they want to do all of the things, but they have failed to realize that they're the ones holding themselves back. So we gotta let them know so we can fix it and so we can finally get the results that we want, okay? TikTok #1, start double tapping the screen. I only see 6 likes, make it make sense. So if you have your pen and paper in hand, good morning, and you are ready for class to begin, go ahead and put ready in the chat because if you are ready to learn, I am ready to teach. Also make sure y'all follow me so you do not lose me. They do steal my videos, especially on TikTok. And they make fake accounts. Thank you, Cindy. And then they're gonna turn around and message you. Do not get hoodwinked, finessed, or bamboozled on these TikTok streets, y'all, because they're coming for you. They is coming for you, child. Good morning. So let's go ahead and get into it. What is a digital product and how will we build the business? Okay, so a digital product is something you do not have physical possession of. So think of a movie on Netflix. Think of a song on your Apple Music or Spotify. You don't physically have it in your possession. It's all out somewhere in the cloud, okay? You are going to create something to sell. Now, some of y'all may be asking, well, Jazz, why can't I just resell a course? Because you don't even like the course that you're reselling. The reason why so many people struggle with sales is because they're trying to sell something that they don't even resonate with. Let's be real. You only bought the course to sell because they promised you would make $1 million in 10 hours, but you haven't made it yet. What I always encourage my students to do is create something of their own and resell that, okay? I want you to think about something that you already know how to do, something that you're good at, and I want you to create your ebook, okay? And you don't have to do an ebook if you don't want to. You could do an e-course, you could do workbooks and journals, affirmation guides, literally whatever you want to do, you can do, okay? Now, I'm gonna give y'all 2 apps, and these apps will change your entire life if you use them. So not only are you gonna download it, you're gonna use it, all right? Good morning. If you're ready for app #1, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. We're gonna be building our online business this morning from scratch. If I say anything this morning that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, make sure you guys are double tapping that screen. YouTube, I see 25 people on here and only 3 thumbs up. Make it make sense. The more we interact with these lives, you guys, the more TikTok and YouTube will push these lives to more people, okay? Thank you, Nadine. Believe it or not, you are holding yourself back. Let me ask you, when was the last time you said to yourself, I'm going to commit 20 to 30 minutes today and work on my business? I don't care what's going on. I don't care who needs what. I am going to spend 30 minutes for me and what I want for my life. Exactly. And that's the problem. Some of y'all don't even know because you don't do that. You are going to have to start making yourself a priority in your own life. You cannot keep giving. Because if you keep doing what you've been doing, it's not gonna get you nowhere. I don't have to prove that to you. Ask yourself, are you getting the results that you want? If the answer is no, then it's time to change something up. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You are going to have to start prioritizing yourself. It does not make you a bad mother because you want to work on your business. It does not make you a bad wife because you want to work on your business. So get that out your head. You deserve to be a priority in your own life, okay? All right. App number 1, good morning. Canva, C-A-N-V-A. Canva, C-A-N-V-A. You will be using this app for everything, okay? So maybe you do want to create content. Canva has thousands of Instagram Reel templates on there for you, okay? Maybe you want to start a YouTube channel. I tell y'all every single day, get your ass on YouTube, start your channel. Canva has thousands of YouTube thumbnail templates on there, okay? And it's very easy to use. You just drag and drop. And for those of you guys who do not know, thumbnails are just those pictures that you see before you actually click on the YouTube video. This is what draws people's attention to your video in the first place. All of the creators, including myself, are creating them on Canva, okay? And maybe you do want to create an ebook, and that's what I'm going to teach you guys how to make this morning. Canva has thousands upon thousands of ebook templates on there to make everything look all professional and branded, okay? Now, before we get into app number 2, I do want to speak to the woman on this live who's been holding on to fear for a very long time. She knows who she is. And we said earlier that fear stands for fuck everything and run. And she's ready to run away. She's ready to run away from her brilliant idea, her $1 million idea, because she won't let go of that damn fear. And she's saying things to herself like, Jazz, I would love to start an online business, but I'm not tech savvy. What if I'm too old? What if it's too late for me? Okay, let me talk to you. First and foremost, what I want you to understand is this. You woke up this morning. That was a blessing. Every day that you are blessed with another day means that you were blessed with another opportunity to work on your business and all of the goals that you have for yourself. So use it until you are 6 feet under. It is never too late. So get that out your head. Number 2, you are extremely tech savvy, okay? Don't lie, because you are on social media all day. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are liking, commenting, scrolling, and archiving, and sharing the videos back and forth in the group chats. That takes tech savviness. So, you will use the same tech savviness that you already have and build your online business. And number 3, for my ladies on here who think they are too old, what did we just say? We said we were going to sell our knowledge. That's what we said. So if you are older, that means you have a lot of knowledge. You have a lot of wisdom, which means you have a lot of things you could be selling. So get to selling. Okay? She said, do and pay for it, and be honest with you, I don't know how to do it. You're going to take notes, Cindy. I got you. I got you. Okay? So no more fear. We're letting it go and we're moving forward. App number 2, good morning, good morning. App number 2 is ChatGPT. This is AI. And you will be using AI for everything. AI is going to make your life so easy, okay? So maybe she said, yes, you're right. I know I'm right. Thank you. I know I'm right. We're going to let go of the fear once and for all, okay? AI. So you'll be using this for everything. Maybe you do want to create content, but you're just not too sure what kind of videos to make. That's fine. ChatGPT will tell you. Maybe you do want to start a YouTube channel, but you're a little camera shy and you're just not too sure what to say in the videos. Cool. What if I told you ChatGPT will script the entire video for you? Now all you got to do is say the words. I can't make this up. And maybe you do want to sell an ebook. That's what I'm going to teach you guys how to make and sell today. But you just don't know what to put in it. All right, cool. What if I told you ChatGPT will write the entire ebook for you from beginning to end in under 30 seconds? Ladies, 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 I cannot stress this enough. It has never been easier than today to start your online business, but the problem is you. Yes, the problem is you. You lack consistency, you don't follow through, no discipline whatsoever, and no confidence. Because every single time it's time for you to keep the promise that you make to yourself, you bail out. You say later, tomorrow, I can't do it. That's you breaking the very promise that you made to yourself, which is why you lack confidence, which is why you care so much about what people think of you. You are getting in your own way, and we got to fix it today. Okay, so we can finally get this done. So I gave you Canva and I gave you ChatGPT. Now we're gonna put it together and write it. If you're ready for prompt number 1, go ahead and put ready in the chat. Good morning. If you are not taking notes, shame on you. Tisk, tisk, tisk. If I know anything about you, you're a human being. And you're going to forget. She said, got my pen ready. Very good. You are going to forget. You always do. That ain't going to change. Because life's and stresses. But if you take notes, if you write it down, when you do forget, you can still refer back to your notes and get it done. Okay? All right. You're going to open up ChatGPT. In the search, YouTube. Hold on. I see 15 people on this live. If I say anything that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, can I get a thumbs up in the house? Come on now. The more we interact with this live YouTube, y'all know this, the more this live will get pushed to more people, okay? All right, you're gonna open up ChatGPT. Here you go, prompt number 1. Thank you, here we go. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. Give me 10 digital product ideas, thank you, I can sell that solves a problem. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. If you've got that, go ahead and put got that in the chat. If you need for me to repeat it, this is the opportunity to ask. Thank you, Lorraine. Closed mouths do not get fed. The keyword is execution. How can we execute if you forget? Because you know you're going to forget. Put got that in the chat. Let me know that you are here and that you are present. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. We are building our online business from scratch. But most importantly, we are building ourselves. We are going to build our confidence, our discipline, our accountability, our follow through so that we can actually get it done. Let me ask you, while I wait for some more got that's in the chat, let me ask you and be honest, when was the last time you told yourself how amazing you are? When was the last time you told yourself how smart you are? When was the last time you told yourself how strong and resilient you are? Some of y'all don't even know because you don't even talk to yourself like that. And that's the problem. Ladies, the way we speak to ourselves determines how we show up for ourselves. If you speak to yourself like shit and you're telling yourself what you can't do and what you're not good at, that manifests into real life. And so you're walking around here thinking you can't do stuff, thinking that you're not tech savvy and that you're not good enough. That's the problem. You have got to start speaking your affirmations. You have got to start speaking to yourself with respect and love. It may feel awkward at first when you're saying things like everything I touch turns to gold, but the only reason why it feels awkward is because you don't believe that yet. But let me tell you this, keep saying those things to yourself and eventually you're going to believe it. And when you believe it, you will start to achieve it, okay? So moving forward, starting today, we're going to start saying nice and loving things to ourselves. Stop beating yourself up. Stop being your biggest critic and your biggest bully. It's not getting you anywhere. You need to start speaking to yourself with respect, okay? Yes, give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. You're gonna hit enter, okay? Now before we move forward, good morning. I want you to write this word down. This says consistent. Write it down. And then once you write it down, I want you to underline it 50,000 times. And then you're going to circle it. Because starting today, you and I are going to lock in on the true definition of what consistent means. Because a lot of y'all are very confused. So let me go ahead and unconfuse you. Some of y'all think consistent means once and a while. Some of y'all think consistent means if I feel like it. Some of y'all think consistent means if I have time. No, ma'am. No. Consistent means more often than not. So, if there are 7 days in a week, I need you to be working on your business, your goals, whatever it is you are trying to achieve for yourself, at least 4 out of the 7. So if you have 20 minutes a day, then you will be spending 20 minutes a day, 4 days a week working on your business. You don't get to use the excuse of I don't have time, because the worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Don't you ever forget that. If you have time to be caught up on your favorite TV shows, you have time to spend 20 minutes and work on what matters to you. If you have time to scroll on social media, watching video after video, then you have time to be working on your business. You do not get that excuse of I don't have time. Not over here. Take that excuse somewhere else. You do have time. You have lots of time. You need to be working on your business at least 4 out of the 7 days for a bare minimum of 20 minutes. If you have 2 hours, even better. But you will be doing 20 minutes. Yes, you will. Okay? Don't we have to consistently go to work so we can get that paycheck every 2 weeks? Yes. That paycheck does not just fall into your lap. You got to work for it. You have to be consistent at your job. Okay. Your business is no different. We've got to be consistent, okay? Cindy said, need help? Write it down, Cindy. I got you. I got you. Now let's make consistency easy, because life is hard enough. Right? Life is hard enough. Life is life, and stress is stressing, and then bills is piling up. So let's go ahead and make consistency easy so that we can be consistent. Okay, let me tell you this. It is so much easier for you to be consistent when you choose a business idea and something that you truly love to do. Ladies, I cannot make this up. When things don't feel like work, you're more likely to do it. Now you have something in your day to look forward to. See, the reason why a lot of people struggle with depression, and I used to struggle with this too, is because within your 24 hours of your day, there's nothing that's just for you. Your day is structured around going to a job that you hate, coming home and taking care of your family, going to bed and repeating the cycle day after day. But nowhere in that day did you do anything that made you happy. But when you choose a business idea and something that you love to do, something that you're passionate about, something that you're really good at, well, then it's so much easier to be consistent, because now you have something to look forward to and it doesn't feel like work. I want you to go through that list that ChatGPT gave you and only pick ideas that you truly love. If it gave you 10 ideas and you don't like none of the ideas it gave you, fine, ask for 10 more and keep asking until it gives you something you want to use. I can't make this up. Ladies, for those of you guys who live very healthy lifestyles, I've lost 100 pounds. Let me ask you, isn't it so much easier to eat fruits and vegetables consistently when you eat the fruits and vegetables that you really like? Yes. I hate watermelon. It's nasty. I don't know how y'all eat that. It's disgusting. It stinks and it tastes even nastier. Do you know how hard it would be for me to eat my fruit consistently if I was forcing myself to eat watermelon every day? I wouldn't stick with it because I hate it. But I love pineapples. I love blueberries. I love oranges. So it's so much easier for me to consistently eat my fruits when I only eat the fruits that I actually love. Okay? So do yourself a favor and run your business the exact same way. All right? Now, one more thing before we move on to prompt number 2. This is critical. This is critical. If you don't remember shit else I say this morning, you better remember this. Write this down. Money flows where energy goes. Write that down. Money flows where energy goes. Money flows where energy goes. Write that down. If you are anything like how I used to be, you are giving all of your energy away. You have literally become an energy vending machine. You give your energy to any and everybody, and half the time they don't even deserve it. You are giving all of your energy to your husband, your boyfriend, your sneaky link. You are giving all of your energy to your children. You are giving all of your energy to your family, your aging parents. You are giving all of your energy to your job and your coworkers. You are giving all of your energy to your friends. You are giving all of your energy to the news and celebrity gossip. And by the time you sit down to focus on something for yourself, you can't. You can't. Why? Because you gave all your energy away. You gave it all away. And that is why now you feel drained. You feel frustrated. You feel depressed. You feel anxious. You feel resentful. Because you keep giving all of your energy away. Now let's be clear. Half of these people that we're giving our energy to are grown, able-bodied adults. And they're not reciprocating it back to you. Because if they were truly reciprocating the energy back, you wouldn't feel drained. You wouldn't feel frustrated. You would feel supported, okay? But you know they're not. That's why you feel how you feel. If they were giving and you take, you give, they take, that's reciprocity. So there wouldn't be any drainage. But you're the one doing all the giving. And that's why you feel the way you feel. So, starting today, we're going to hold on to our energy. And you are going to start telling people no. The answer is no. And no is a complete sentence. It does not need to be explained. It does not make you a bad wife because you want to work on your business. It does not make you a bad mother because you want to do something for yourself for once. It does not make you a bad friend because you don't want to sit there and listen to her problems. It makes you human. You matter too. Your happiness is important too. So you're going to start telling people no. No, I cannot loan you any money. That is money I could be using for my business. No, I cannot give you a ride. That is time I could be spending for my business. No, I cannot sit here and listen to you tell me about your problems. Shit, I got to fix my own. Tell her to get a damn counselor. The answer is no. Because when you start telling people no, now you start saying yes to you. Money flows where energy goes. When you start putting more energy back into yourself, the money starts to flow right behind it. Let's be real. Some of you guys are trying to pour from an empty ass cup. And that cup of yours has been empty for years. Ain't shit in there. Ain't a drop of anything left in there. Your cup needs to be in overflow in order for you to effectively give to others. How do you make your cup an overflow? You start prioritizing yourself in your own life and you start telling people no. That's how. Money flows where energy goes. Don't you ever forget it. Okay? Very good. Prompt number 2. So once you choose the digital product idea you want to use, you will type this in. Here we go. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Good morning. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. If you've got that, go ahead and put got that in the chat. If you need for it to be repeated, this is the opportunity to ask. Remember, closed mouths do not get fed. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. We are building our online business this morning, but most importantly, we are building ourselves. We are building our discipline, our consistency, our follow through. You are the common denominator in your own life. Don't you ever forget it. So many people always want to point the blame on others. At some point, we got to start looking at the woman in the mirror and realizing that we are getting in our own way. You are going to have to start changing who you are in order to get the results that you want. Because the version of you that you are today does not align with who you want to become. Gotta change, okay? All right. You're gonna hit enter. Now this is what write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. You're gonna hit enter. Now, this is what I mean by it has never been easier than today to build your online business because ChatGPT literally wrote the ebook for you. It wrote it for you. Now, all you have to do is copy and paste. That's it. You will literally copy what ChatGPT gave you and paste it into your Canva template. Good morning. So you're going to open up Canva. In the search bar, you're going to type in ebooks, hit enter. It's going to give you thousands of templates. Pick your most favorite one. They are all 1000% customizable. So you can swap out the colors and the fonts and the pictures. Do what you want. You will copy and paste. Now, for my women who love to overthink, you overthink from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed every single day, and it's not getting you anywhere. Stop. Stop. I want you to write this down. This says KISS, K-I-S-S. This is an acronym, good morning, that stands for Keep It Simple, Silly. Keep it simple, silly. Stop overthinking. I just need you to make sure your ebook is clean, simple, and legible. That's it. Clean, simple, legible. If it's those three things, you're good to go. Now, once you are done with your ebook and you love the way it looks, you will download it as a PDF file. PDF. You will then upload it to your hosting site. Write these down. Stan Store, Etsy, Beacons, Gumroad, and Shopify. Stan Store, Etsy, Beacons, Gumroad, Shopify. If you've got all of this, please got that in the chat. And these are some of the most popular hosting sites. Yes, there are plenty more. These are some of the most popular ones. And your product only needs to be on one of these, not all 5, okay? I am live. Today is Sunday, March what? I don't have my watch on me. March 22nd, I think? I am live and in full effect. Go ahead and got that in the chat. Now, while I wait for some got that's, let me tell you what I have noticed about people. Let me tell you what I noticed about people. As human beings, we love to stay in our comfort zone. Our comfort zone, child. We love it in our comfort zone. Our comfort zone is our daily habits and routines. It's what we do every day. It's who we talk to. It's what we watch on TV. It's how we spend our time. Our comfort zone is where we love to be. It is the path of least resistance. It is what is most familiar to you. But notice that comfort zone that you've been living in for years doesn't get you anywhere. It's not getting you to the business results that you want. It's not getting you to the financial freedom that you want. It's not getting you to the peace that you want. You are going to have to take a half an inch out your comfort zone to get to the results that you want. Because the results you want are not in that comfort zone. If it was, you wouldn't be on this live. You wouldn't be on this live. But you're here because you're not getting the results that you want. That comfort zone of yours that you refuse to leave is draining you. It is making you miserable. It is keeping you sad and anxious. It has you frustrated. It is keeping you broke. And I want you to be aware of something in case you didn't know. Stress is a silent killer. Yes, it is. I don't have to convince you. Look it up. Stress is terrible for your body. And some of you guys have been stressed for a very long time. But that comfort zone that you refuse to leave is stressing you out. It is slowly killing you. You are going to have to take a half an inch out of your comfort zone and do something a little bit different today if you want to start getting the results that you want. Or you can stay in that comfort zone, go ahead and stay there and come back a year from now and ask me how it's going or tell me how it's going. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're going to have to switch some things up. Got to get out that comfort zone, ladies. Nothing that you want is in that comfort zone. Okay? All right. Now back to our hosting sites. I use Stan Store. I love Stan. Stan is great, but Stan is very expensive. Stan Store is $99 a month. That is very high if your business is not making that. If you are brand new to all of this, I don't want you on Stan Store. That's not for you. Instead, I want you to start on Gumroad. Because Gumroad only charges you a percentage when you make a sale. They charge you 10% for every sale. So until you make money, you don't have to spend it. That's a great place to start. Now, what I know about you is this. You're gonna make money. How do I know that? Because you're taking notes, you're asking questions, and most importantly, you're going to execute. You're gonna execute. So when you do start making money, then transfer everything over to Stan Store later. Because Stan Store has a lot of features that will help you expand your business, thank you only, like Afterpay and Klarna. Ladies, let me tell you what's going on in the world of finance today, in case you didn't know. Buy now, pay later, taken over. It is taken over. Buy now, pay later includes Klarna, Afterpay, Sezzle, QuadPay, Zip, Affirm, PayPal. There's so many these days. Buy now, pay later is the preferred payment option. Why do you think they put it on DoorDash? Why do you think they put it on Uber Eats? Because that's what people are using. They are using that more than credit cards. And no, it is not just poor people. Get that out your head because six-figure earners are using it too. And if you have a buy now, pay later option on your site, I promise you, you will make more. But for now, you will start with what you have. You will start on Gumroad. You will build your business, and then you will transfer everything over to Stan Store later. Okay? So what we just did was we just created the digital product. That's what we did. We took Canva, we took ChatGPT, we put it together and we made it, and then we uploaded it to our hosting site. Now we have to sell it. Thank you, K Rose. We gotta sell it. I'm gonna teach you how to sell. I'll be honest. Sales is 80% of the business. That's more than half. So we've got to get this right. We got to get sales right or there will not be a business, okay? But before we get into sales, I need to make something crystal clear to you. That process of copying and pasting and making that ebook, that process should not take you longer than 2 hours. Respectfully, it shouldn't take you longer than 1, but I'm gonna give you some grace and I'm gonna give you 2. And just so you know, I don't care how old you are. I don't give a damn. Ask any of the ladies who are inside of my Globe Academy. I have women in there all the way up to 70-something years old. I don't care how old you are. Age ain't nothing but a number. You don't get that age excuse over here. No, you don't. Because what you're not going to do is try to convince me that it takes longer than 2 hours to copy and paste some words. No, it does not. And you know how to copy and paste because you copy and paste links to reels in the group chats every day. Yes, you do. My mom is always sending me reels from Instagram. So you know how to copy and paste. If it is taking you longer than 2 hours, that is because we have a serious problem that we got to fix today. One of the problems that you might be struggling with, and I used to be guilty of this too, you want to be a perfectionist, right? Mm-hmm. So what that means is everything about you just must be perfect or it's not right. You are the woman who will waste 6 months of her life that she will never get back just to overthink her brilliant idea and second guess her greatness. And then when you do decide to finally get started, you're going to take things out, put things back. You're going to get frustrated and irritated because it's still not perfect, and you're going to give up on it again. Then you're going to let 3 more months go by that you do not get back just to waste more of your precious, valuable time and be so damn perfect. And when you decide to reset and get started yet again, this time you're gonna go ask 20 people what they think you should do with your business. And the crazy thing is, these people that you're asking, they're not even business owners. These aren't even people you would trade lives with. But for some reason, you care so much about what people think of you. And then when they do give you their opinion, you listen and you care. Next thing you know, a whole year has gone by and you ain't did shit but waste your precious, valuable time that you will never get back. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Thank you, K. Rose. Bless your precious heart. Listen, I've been there. I've done that. That's how I know. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but sometimes that's just what I do best. But I'm going to hold your hand very tightly when I say this to you. Just know I'm saying it out of love. Ma'am, you are not perfect. No, you're not. You are flawed. I am not perfect. I am flawed. Nobody is perfect and everybody is flawed. She said, yes, I'm a perfectionist. I know. I know. And I need to hold your hand and tell you this. You're not perfect. We are all perfectly imperfect. See, what you really are is scary as hell. That's what you are. You are scary as hell. You are still living in fear. And what did we say fear stood for on this live? Fear stands for fuck everything and run. And that's what you have been doing. Some of y'all have been running away from your brilliant idea, your $1 million idea for years, decades, because you're so fearful of looking stupid. You're so fearful of people talking about you. You're so fearful of failing. And all of this fear that you refuse to let go of is stealing your dream life from you. It is stealing it. I'm not even trying to be dramatic. It literally is. Because let's be real. You know deep down inside what kind of life you want to live. Yes, you do. You have prayed about it. You have been trying to manifest it. You've been hoping and wishing. You've already created vision board after vision board. You know exactly what you want for your life. You know what side of town you want to live on. You know what kind of vacations you want to take with your family. You know what kind of financial freedom you want. And most importantly, you know exactly how much money you want to leave your children. You know all of the things. God heard you loud and clear. But every day that you do not live like that is another day that you could have, but you let fear steal it from you. That's a choice. You choose to live in fear. That's the truth. And if you want to dig even deeper into why we hold on to all this fear in the first place, it's because we are self-sabotaging. That's what all this is. This is all self-sabotage. You are doing this to yourself. That is why I keep saying time and time again, you are getting in your own way. This is self-inflicted. You are doing this to yourself. And the reason why we self-sabotage, you want to know the truth? It's because you have a fragile ego and your ego cannot handle feeling disappointment if it doesn't work. That feeling of disappointment, it scares the shit out of you. So you will self-sabotage to avoid feeling disappointed. So you'll use the excuse of I'm busy. But you're not really busy. You're self-sabotaging because if you let go of the excuse, I'm too busy, and you actually did it and it doesn't work, that scares you. So you will hold on to all of these excuses, self-sabotage. You will say silly things like, well, she's been my friend for 20 years. Even though she talks to me with no respect, even though she uses me, I can't not be her friend because we've been friends for 20 years. No, that's just you self-sabotaging, because if you let that toxic ass friend go and you built your confidence and you started to feel good about yourself and you actually tried to do your business, and if it doesn't work, that feeling of disappointment scares you. So you will self-sabotage and continue to hold on to toxic ass relationships that aren't doing anything for you. Self-sabotage. But I'm confused because earlier you said you hated your job. That's what you said. You said you were tired of living paycheck to paycheck. You said you were tired of giving up on yourself. You said you were tired of not having confidence. These are the things that you said. I am trying to help you fix it. But we cannot fix it if we do not change. How can we bring more money into the household and stop living paycheck to paycheck if there's no product? I'm being honest. How can customers buy our stuff if there's no stuff? They can't. They can't. How can we build up our confidence if we keep breaking the promises that we made to ourselves? We have been saying for years that we were going to start a business, but every single year you don't start it. How can we build our confidence if we keep giving up on ourselves? We can't. We can't. So, you're going to have to launch. Because every day that you keep doing what you're doing, you are still living in disappointment. Because there are still things about your life you're not 1000% happy with. So, you are going to have to launch the product as is. And I need you to understand and understand that it will never, ever, ever be perfect. You are trying to chase something that doesn't even exist. Because you are self-sabotaging. But also understand this. The more that you keep doing the thing, the better you get. The more content you post, the better the content will get. The longer you run your business, the better the business will get. The more products you put out in the future, the better your products will get. But they will still never be perfect. Look at Netflix. Believe it or not, Netflix did not always have a fancy Netflix app. Nope. They were not always doing comedy specials with Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle either. No. They did not always have their own production company making movies and TV shows that are now winning Emmys and Oscars today. And they damn sure did not always have wrestling on pay-per-view. Years ago, before COVID, you used to have to go on their website, netflix.com. You had to make a list of the movies you wanted to see. And these were not their originals. These were movies that were once in theaters. They would mail you a DVD off of the list. Remember that? You could watch the movie as many times as you wanted. And when you were ready for the next movie, you had to mail that one back. They did not wait to have the latest software. They launched with what they had and what they could afford. And the longer they ran their business, the better the business got. The more customers they acquired, the more money they were able to invest and make Netflix better. But let's be clear, it's still not perfect. We all got complaints because I still can't find shit to watch on there. So it's still not perfect. But Netflix is $1 billion company. And they had a messy middle too. Tesla, Amazon, they all had messy middles. So I don't know why you think that you get to skip the messy middle, but we're going to have to reel that ego on in. Because if they had a messy middle, so will you. So will you. And that's okay. Another reason why it might be taking you longer than 2 hours to copy and paste some words is because you are distracted as fuck. I have already accepted the fact that I am not the life coach for everybody. I have already accepted the fact that I am not the business coach for everybody because believe it or not, most people aren't really looking for solutions to their problems. Nope. Most people are just looking for someone that they can complain and vent to about their problems. But the minute you give them the very solution to fix the problem that they have, they bail. They weren't really looking for help. They were just looking for someone to listen. I'm not here for that shit. No, that's not why I'm here. I am here to help the woman who actually wants to change her life. But we cannot change if I do not make you aware of what you're doing. See, most people are not self-aware. Self-awareness is key. So I'm going to tell you the truth about you so that we can fix it, so that we can change. See, when you get off of work, you could work on your business and reaching your goals, keeping the promises that you make to yourself so you can finally have confidence in yourself, but you make the choice not to. You choose to sit on the phone and gossip with your friends about celebrities and their drama. When you do have time off from work, like the weekends, you could work on your business, reaching your goals, keeping the promises that you make to yourself so you can finally believe in yourself, but you make the choice not to. You choose to sit on the couch and binge watch Netflix and Hulu for hours. When your children are asleep late at night, you could work on your business and reaching your goals and keeping the promises that you make to yourself so you can finally have confidence and stop caring what people think about you. But you make the choice not to. You choose to scroll social media for hours, laughing at funny videos and sharing them back and forth in the group chats. And the reason why we hold on to all of these distractions in the first place, social media, drinking, gambling, all of these things that we're doing, these are distractions. And the reason why we're holding on to them is because we are trying to escape. This is escapism. And the reason that we're trying to escape is because there's things about our life that we are not 1000% happy with. And instead of you being a grown woman and fixing it, you choose to run from it. But let me ask you, and just be honest, is it working? Is what you're doing working? I don't know you. Is it working? Just be real with yourself. Is that working? Are you getting the results that you want? Are you making the money you want? Are you genuinely happy? Because if the answer is no, then that means it's time to change something up. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So if you are not happy with the way things are going, then you have to change. Instead of trying to escape a life that you are not 1000% happy with, how about we just create a life? We just build a life that we never feel the need to escape from. Okay. So this is what you're gonna do today, not tomorrow, not Monday, today. Today, you are gonna turn the TV off. Put the phone on Do Not Disturb. Tell your little friends, you will talk to them later. You are building your dream life. You're gonna sit down at home. No, you do not need to go to Starbucks. You get distracted there. You're going to start your ebook and then you're going to finish it. Not start, stop, come back next week, because we already know how you do. You ain't coming back. You're gonna start it and you're gonna finish it. 2 hours is all you need. If we are crystal clear on all of these instructions, go ahead and put clear in the chat, because respectfully, there is no point in talking about sales if we don't have anything to sell. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jasmine. We are building our online business. Most importantly, we are building ourselves. Make sure you guys follow me so you do not lose me. Thank you, Kay, because they do steal my videos, especially on TikTok. And they turn around and make fake accounts trying to be me, messaging you. Do not get hoodwinked, finessed, or bamboozled. YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe if you have not already. So I told you guys a few minutes ago, sales is 80% of the business. That is more than half. So we have got to get this right or there will not be a business. But I gotta tell you the truth. Sales is where most people fail. They fail at sales. Now, before you run away, before you freak out and say things like, oh my God, just because sales is so hard. No, it's not. No, it's not. Sales is actually very, very easy. But people's mindset and the things that they think in regards to sales is what makes sales so hard for them. So in order to actually sell something, we gotta first fix our headspace around sales. See, some of y'all say things to yourself like, I'm not a salesperson. What if I talk about my product too much and people unfollow me? What if people think I'm being annoying? What if people think I'm begging them for money? So, let's go ahead and clear all that up. First of all, selling is not begging, okay? Selling is solving. People have a problem and you have a solution. You are not begging anyone for anything. So get that out your head right now. Number two, you don't have a choice but to talk about your products and services and how you can help people consistently, because I promise you this, people are very, very, very forgetful. Ladies, everyone is living their own life. They are being bombarded with content from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed, and people are going to forget. Life is lifing and stress is stressing for everyone. You have got to remind people consistently so they can even begin to remember who you are. Why do you think I keep telling you time and time again to take notes? I done said take notes about 50 times so far. Why? Because I already know you're human and you're gonna forget. I forget, everyone forgets. So I'm telling you to write it down so when you do forget, you can still refer back to your notes and get it done. Why do you think I keep telling you that the key word of this live is execution? You have heard me say that word time and time and time again. Why do I keep repeating myself? Because psychology has already proven the more you hear something, the more it sticks in your pretty head. You have to remind people consistently about who you are, what you do, and how you can help people so they even begin to remember. You don't have a choice. Look at Amazon. We all know who they are. We all got the memo. And most of us are Prime members, meaning we pay a monthly subscription to utilize 2-day, 1-day, and same-day shipping. So even though everyone knows who Amazon is, and most of us spend money with them every single month, they still remind you consistently that they exist. How? Well, look at those Amazon trucks you see on the road. You can't even go 2 miles down the street without seeing one. They didn't have to paint those trucks blue and put their logo on them. They could have left them white, but they did it for a reason. Why? So that every time you see one of their trucks, your brain remembers Amazon. You can't even go down a neighborhood or enter into a mailroom without seeing Amazon packages all over the place. They could have left those cardboard boxes blank. They didn't have to put their logo on them boxes, but they did it for a reason. Why? So that every time you see one of their packages, which is multiple times a day, your brain thinks Amazon. Now, let's go ahead and be honest. Do you really think they're worried about you thinking they're annoying? Do you really think they're worried about you thinking that they're begging you for money? Do you really think they're worried about you unsubscribing from Prime because they're doing too much? No. Because they know they have a solution to your problem. You're lazy and you want convenience. We all do. So every single day, they will continue to remind you multiple times that they exist. And every single month, you will spend your hard-earned money with them. True or false? For those of you guys who have seen my face before, maybe I'm not a new face to you. I have been on the internet full-time for 6 years. You might have found me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. I am all over the place. How is it that I'm able to show up consistently and talk about Glow Up Academy without worrying about people thinking I'm being annoying, or worrying about people unfollowing me or unsubscribing from my channel because I'm doing too much, or begging people for money? How am I able to do that? Because I know I have a solution to people's problems. People want to become confident in themselves and finally stick to the promises that they make to themselves. I work with them every single day inside of Glow Up Academy. People want to learn how to become consistent and disciplined so that they actually follow through and actually get the results that they want. I work with them every single day inside of Glow Up Academy. People want to grow their online business. They want to sell their products. They want to create their course or their ebook. I work with them every single day inside of Glow Up Academy. If people think I'm being annoying and they unfollow, respectfully, I don't give a damn. That just means they weren't ready to glow up their life, and that's okay. When they hit a brick wall, they'll come back. They always do. And because I have that energy with my products and services, I sell, and I sell a lot. Because Amazon has that energy with their products and services, they sell, and they sell a lot. And if you want to sell a lot too, you are going to have the same energy. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay? Okay. If you're ready for sales tip number 1, put a 1 in the chat. Dawn said, I have no motivation. I am tired. Dawn, the only motivation you need, ask yourself, are you happy? Is what you're doing working? Because if the answer is no, that is all the motivation you need. That's all the motivation you need. If you're ready for sales tip number 1, put a 1 in the chat. For those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz, and we are building our online business. If I'm saying anything that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, make sure you guys are double tapping the screen, like, comment, and share. The more we interact, the more this live will get pushed to more people. Change your mindset tomorrow. Start from there. No, change your mindset today. You are all tomorrowed out. You've been tomorrowing for years. Tomorrow is today. You gonna change that mindset today, right now, okay? Very good. Now, real quick, I do wanna address the elephant in the room, which is failing. A lot of you guys have amazing ideas, you really do, but you're terrified to even get started because you're terrified of failing. That word failing has you in a chokehold. But what if I told you that a lot of you are very confused on what failing even means? So let me go ahead and unconfuse you. See, some of y'all think failing means you launch your first ebook, and if you're not a millionaire by the end of the month, then you failed. Some of y'all are really out here thinking that if you create your first YouTube channel and post your first YouTube video, and if you don't get 50,000 subscribers in 7 days, then you failed. And some of y'all are really out here thinking that if you make your TikTok and you don't get 10,000 views, you failed. But what if I told you that's not failing? See, failing only exists when you quit. When you throw in the towel and you say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, I give up, I quit, well then that is when you have officially failed. But if every single day you just keep going, you just keep showing up, you keep trying, you keep putting in the work, that is not failing because you're still giving it all you've got. See, the problem with society today is the level of entitlement. People today have become so entitled. And you have been living with entitlement for so long that you don't even recognize how entitled you are. And so what you have done was you have pulled a magic number out of thin air and you have convinced yourself that if you don't get the results you want in the time frame in which you feel entitled to them, then you have failed. But my question for you is, who the hell told you that it only takes you 30 days to become a millionaire? Who told you that? Where did you get that bizarre number from? Somebody off of TikTok. That's where you got it from. But that's not even true. Who told you that it only takes 7 days to grow a YouTube channel to 100,000 subscribers? Who told you that? Where did you get that crazy number from? You have become entitled to the results in the time frame in which you set. You have said that if I'm not a millionaire in 48 hours, then I failed because I said so. But the crazy thing is, the results that you're looking for always show up. But a lot of times, people quit before they even get the results that they wanted. But that's because you're entitled. You have become entitled to the timeline. And the timeline that you have created in your head isn't even realistic, like at all. You guys, I've lost 100 pounds. Anyone who has lost any amount of weight can attest to this. Just be honest. If you just keep eating less food and you just keep moving your body, don't you eventually get to the goal weight that you wanted? Yeah. You want to know why most people don't reach their goal weight? You want to know the truth? Because they felt entitled to losing 50 pounds in 48 hours. That's why. That's why they didn't reach their goal weight. And because they gave up after 48 hours, because they felt entitled to 50 pounds, that's why they failed at weight loss. For my ladies who have gotten any type of degree, I got a bachelor's degree. Be honest. If you just keep going to class, and you just keep doing your homework, don't you eventually get the degree that you wanted? Yeah, you do. You want to know why? You want to know why a lot of people don't get the degree that they wanted? Because they dropped out. That's why. So, running your business is no different. If you just keep showing up, you will eventually get to the dollar amount, the subscriber amount, the view count that you wanted. So for anyone on this live who is terrified of failing, just don't quit. Because if you do not quit, then you do not fail. And now you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Okay? Okay. Sales tip number 1. Good morning. Write this down. Content is king. And distribution is queen. Content is king and distribution is queen. So let's break this down so it makes sense. Let's start with the content is king part, okay? Content is anything that you upload to social media, anything. So reels, pictures, stories, long form YouTube videos, if you go live, if you make statuses on Facebook or Threads or Twitter, all of that is content, whatever you upload. Okay? Content is king because content is how we're going to get the word out about our products and services and how we can help people. But remember, we said earlier that people are very forgetful. So we have to be consistently posting that content to remind people that we exist and how we can help them. Now, one thing I want to stress the importance of is not allowing yourself to feel overwhelmed. Because when you create a long list of to-dos and you start to feel overwhelmed, you get frustrated and then you freeze and then you don't do anything. We cannot feel overwhelmed. So instead, I want you to adapt a new mindset. We're going to crawl before we walk and we're going to walk before we run. We're going to create smaller habits to get us to our overall goal so that you do not feel overwhelmed. So maybe you're not posting content yet at all because maybe you are camera shy. Okay, well, we have to tackle the camera shyness first. We're going to do that slowly but surely. We're going to crawl before we walk and walk before we run. So what I want you to start doing today, if you struggle with camera shyness, I want you to start sitting in front of your camera, whether it's a phone or a real camera, whatever, and I want you to sit there and talk to it multiple times a day. You can do 30 seconds, you could do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't care. But you must do it multiple times a day. And don't you dare tell me you don't have time. Don't stop gaslighting yourself because you have all the time, because you're always on social media. So instead of being on social media, you're gonna work through your camera shyness. And these videos that you're creating, these are not to post. This is just for you to get comfortable with being in front of the camera. What did I say? The more you do something, the better you get. So the more you are in front of the camera, the more comfortable you will start to feel, and then you won't feel awkward or cringe. Once you get to that point, now what you're gonna do, we're gonna take it up a notch. You're going to commit to posting just one 30-second TikTok video a week. I want you to get consistent with posting once a week. Once we have built consistency with once a week, we're gonna up it to twice a week. Then we're gonna up it to 3 times a week. Next thing you know, you are consistently posting your content. I do not ever want you to feel overwhelmed because like I said, the minute you feel overwhelmed, you freeze and you don't do anything. So we're gonna crawl before we walk and walk before we run. Now, distribution is queen. Not only will we be posting content consistently, we also need to be building at least 3 platforms. Why 3? Because 1 is too close to none, that's why. Like that one income you have at that one job. If they laid you off on Monday, what would you do? You would be freaking out, trying to figure out how you're gonna pay your bills. If you put all of your eggs in a TikTok basket and the US decides to ban it like they did last year, what would you do? You would be freaking out like all of the other TikTokers who only had a TikTok account. I teach my students that we have got to stay proactive so we are not reactive. In other words, we got to stay ready. And no, it's not hard to build 3. Get out your head. Listen, the same exact video that you post on TikTok, you will throw it on YouTube, Shorts, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you want to be. It takes an extra 5 minutes. I promise you it's not hard. I do it all day. Now, which platform should you grow? Well, that's up to you. You got a lot of options. I always suggest starting with the platform that you're always on. So if you always find yourself on TikTok, start TikTok. Obviously, you like this app so much because you're always here, and then just choose 2 more. But I do want to remind you, in case you did not know, YouTube is the most watched platform. It is not TikTok. It is YouTube. There are more people watching YouTube than cable TV. So I'm going to always urge and encourage my students to start their YouTube channel. If everybody is watching YouTube, why are you not creating on YouTube? That doesn't even make any sense. So start your YouTube channel. She said, get yourself so uncomfortable that you actually become comfortable. Very good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I do want to speak to the woman on this live who's holding on to fear, child. I can feel it. She's here. And what do we say? Fear stood for fuck everything and run. And she's about to run away. She's here. She's listening. She's quiet. She's taking her notes. But in the back of her head, she's like, what the hell did I walk in on? She's saying, Jazz, I'm so glad I found you. It was definitely divine timing, but I don't know. Girl, you want me to make my own ebook. You want me to post consistently. You want me to build 3 platforms? Jazz. I don't know, girl. I want to. It sounds amazing, but honestly, I just don't think I can. This just sounds really hard. Okay. She said, oh girl, you don't call me out like that. Miss Monty, what I want you to understand is this. I don't have the ability to convince you of anything. I don't have that power, and I'm not going to try. So if you want to believe that making your own ebook with the assistance of AI is hard, then fine, your feelings are valid. You're right, it's hard. If you want to believe that building 3 platforms is hard, then fine, you're right, it's hard. If you want to believe that posting content consistently is hard, then fine, it's hard. But I do want to remind you of something. The life that you're currently living is hard. Going to a job that you absolutely hate, 40 hours or more a week, is extremely hard. And you do that every day. Crying every day because you are so unhappy with the way life is going for you right now is hard. And you do that every day. Knowing deep down in your soul, you can feel it in your spirit that there is something better for you, and not living it is hard. And you do that every day. And see, that's what fear will do, that right there. Fear will convince you that you can't do any of this. But look at what you're already doing. That's 1,000 times harder than this. And one thing I have noticed that we as women tend to do, and it's toxic, we never want to give ourselves credit where credit is due. When was the last time you told yourself that you're proud of you? That you're just proud of yourself? When was the last time you said that? Some of y'all don't even know. Can't even think of when. And that's crazy, because let's be real, life's for everybody. And we have all had moments in life that were extremely hard. And in those moments, we had no clue how we were going to overcome it. But guess what? We did. Because we're still here today. Something happened in your life at some point. And in those moments, your world was turned upside down. But by the grace of God, you got through it. Because you're still here today. I remember when I lost my grandma, my whole world changed forever. And my grandma, she pretty much raised me. When I went off to college, I used to call her 4 and 5 times a day just to see what she was doing. She was the woman I always went to whenever I had a problem. She knew how to listen and not judge me. She knew how to give me advice and not make me feel like I was making stupid decisions. And when I lost my grandma, I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna live without her? She was my rock. But here I am, 10 years later, still living without her. You've already proven to yourself how strong you really are. You have already proven to yourself how resilient you really are. Because if you weren't strong, and if you weren't resilient, you wouldn't have gotten through whatever you got through. But you're gonna allow fear convince you that you can't do this. Really? Are we serious? This is why I keep bringing up the importance of building our confidence. This is why. Because this is a confidence issue and lack thereof. Look at everything that you have overcome, and you're gonna let fear convince you that you don't have the ability to make an ebook that AI is going to write for you and copy the words and paste it into a pre-made Canva template. Really, ladies, that's what we're doing today? That's what we're gonna do? Really? You're gonna let fear convince you that you don't have the ability to take a reel that you made and take it and put it on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. Really? Really? But look at what you already do. This is a confidence issue. That's what all this is. And this is why I keep stressing the importance of not breaking the very promises that you made to yourself. Because when you do that, every single day you are slowly chipping away at your confidence and self-belief. This is the problem. Because nothing that I have said is out of reach for you. And listen, I don't have to convince you of this because you can see it for yourself. There are people on these apps who are in worse off situations than you, still showing up and building their business. There are women on these apps with more children than you, and they are still showing up, building their business. There are people on these apps who have worse health conditions than you, and they are still showing up, building their business. There are people on these apps who are down and out right now. They lost their job. Some of them have been evicted, foreclosed on, living in their car. And despite the weight of the world on their back right now, they are still showing up, building their business. So you have more than enough proof to see what is possible. But you want to know why they're doing it and you're not? You want to know the truth? The truth is because they chose to let go of fear and you choose to hold on to it. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. That fear that you refuse to let go of is stealing your dream life from you every single day. Because deep down inside, you know what kind of life you want. You have prayed about it and prayed about it and prayed about it some more. But every day that you choose to hold on to fear is another day that you choose to let fear steal that dream life from you. And listen, my online business changed my entire life. I can't even make this up. I have made more money than I ever could have imagined from my cell phone, a laptop, and Wi-Fi. I've been doing this for 6 years full time. Started during COVID. I finally have peace. You can't even put a price tag on that. I have purpose now. I get to wake up every day doing what I love. I have freedom. I get to do what I want, when I want, and how I want to do it. I have happiness now. I have confidence now. But before all of this, before COVID, I lived a very, very different life. I used to be miserable, y'all. I used to be insecure as hell, depressed and anxious. I was 100 pounds overweight. I had a 9-to-5 that I absolutely hated. And to top it all off, I used to be an alcoholic. See, I had bought into the American dream bullshit that they sell everybody. But I bought in back in high school because they told me to go to college. And they said that once I graduate, I'll be able to get a good job with benefits and stability. I'll be able to make more than enough to pay my bills, travel a few times a year, and put extra money into my 401k plan so that when I get too old to work, I'll be able to retire with dignity. They also told me somewhere in the mix I'd be able to afford a house. That's what they said. So I said, okay, let's do it. Let's go. Went off to college at 18, did the whole dorm room experience, got a 4-year bachelor's degree. That degree cost me $40,000. Graduated, moved back home, like most college grads do. 6 months after I moved back home, I got my first dream job towards my degree. Oh, I was so excited. And they were offering me $60,000 a year. I was 23 years old, so that was a lot of money to me. That's more than I ever made in my entire life. I thought I was literally about to be rich. I really did. okay? I didn't have any kids, so I'm like, shit, this is great. I accepted the job and I moved out of my mom's house. I was sick of her rules. I was ready to be my own woman. So I went out and got my own place. Didn't stop there. I had to do what most Americans do. I went out and got me a car payment. See, I already had a car, okay? And the car was paid off. My grandma got me that car. But it was old. No leather seats, no push to start, no touchscreen on the dash. I had to upgrade to match my new upgraded life, right? Yeah. So I decided to trade that car in and get me a Dodge Charger, brand new, fresh off the lot. My mom and grandma told me don't do it. But me being 23, what do they know? They're just old. So I did it. That car cost me $450 a month. And we all know, with expensive cars comes expensive car insurance and expensive gas. By the time your girl paid all her bills for the month, she was broke. I was broke as hell. There was no vacations. Couldn't afford one. There was no extra savings into my 401k plan. Couldn't afford it. I could barely afford to eat. I was broke, okay? I had another problem. I had to start paying back them damn student loans. See, I didn't know back then how serious the government was when it comes to those student loans. I didn't think they cared for real. I thought it was just one of those little fake bills. Because everybody has student loans, right? It's the American way. The government's not playing with you when it comes to getting their money back for those student loans. See, they'll give you 6 months after you graduate. They're not going to send you no letters. They're not going to tell you how much you're going to be paying each month. They don't tell you anything. They want you to focus on getting a job. But best believe when that 6-month mark hits, they are sending letters to your house because they're going to tell you how much you can afford to pay because they want to see them tax returns. And since they saw on paper that I didn't have any dependents and I made $60,000 a year, they said I should be able to pay $400 a month. They didn't care how much my rent was. They didn't care how much my car payment was. They didn't care that I was already drowning. They didn't care. It's not up for negotiation. And I'm so confused because I'm like, well, my friends, they're paying $50 a month. Why I gotta pay $400? Because my friends didn't make what I made. That's why. That's why. Good old middle class. Middle class boy, I tell you, you don't qualify for any type of assistance when you're middle class. You're actually more poor than poor people because you don't get any type of help. I had 11 student loan accounts that they lumped under one monthly payment of $400 a month. Every single month that I did not pay those student loans, I got 11 missed payments on my credits. In the course of 1 year, I racked up 121 missed payments. My credit shot 520. So there goes my American dreams of home ownership. Because who's gonna give me a mortgage loan at a 520? Nobody. Not till I fix that. So I'm broke as hell. I have really bad credit off of some student loans. I had one last problem. I hated my job. Nowhere in that American dream blueprint did they tell me I would be miserable every day at my 9 to 5. I had no clue what I was walking into. Now, I'm not gonna lie. In my early 20s, I was very naive. I was very gullible. And I believed what people told me because in my mind, I'm like, well, why would she lie? See, when I went into my interview, my supervisor told me that even though the department was all women, all middle-aged women, that everyone got along and that they all loved each other and that they were one big old happy work family. And so me being naive as hell at 23, I believed her. So I went into the department thinking that was true. Let me tell you what I learned about corporate America. You gotta watch them because they're fake as fuck and they're slick, okay? Because see, what they'll do is they'll kiki and caca with you in the break room, but they don't like you. Don't get confused. They will even hang out with you off the clock. So they're not even getting paid to be around you, but they still make the choice to hang out with you. They'll invite you to happy hour. They'll even invite you to their house. They'll invite you to their weddings and their baby showers, but don't you dare get confused. They don't like you. It's crazy. They will even spend their hard-earned money on you. So they'll come together and buy you a birthday gift. But they don't like you. They will even bring food to the potlucks and we'll sit together on Thanksgiving, have this big old Thanksgiving lunch like we like each other. But they don't like you. It's weird. And best believe, if you piss off the right person, they will make sure that every day you work there will be miserable for you. I made the mistake. And I made friends with a woman who was 31, I was 23, and she told me I was the little sister she never had. And I believed her, and I was like, wow, she's the big sister I never had. And I used to tell her everything, because I really thought she was like my older sister. And we did everything together, even off the clock. We were going to get our nails done together. She invited me to her wedding. We were doing everything together. And best believe, when we both wanted to get promoted, she made sure to tell my supervisor everything that I told her in confidence. And so my supervisor decided that every single day that I worked there, she was going to make my life a living hell. It's my fault. I walked right into it, didn't know no better. I was miserable. I must have put in hundreds, if not thousands of applications to try to get a new job. I couldn't even get an interview. Nobody was calling me back. So I'm broke. I have really bad credit, and I hate my job. For the first time in my life, at 23 years old, I felt trapped. If you've never experienced what it feels like to feel trapped, consider yourself blessed. Because I wouldn't wish that feeling of trapped on my worst enemy. But let me give you some context. See, trapped feels like no matter what you do, your life's not gonna get no better. That's how trapped feels. Trapped feels like you can be positive and optimistic all you want, but it feels like nothing but negative ass shit from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed every single day. That's how trapped feels. You can try to work some overtime or even get a part-time job so you can catch up on some bills and stop feeling so damn stressed. But just when you start to save a couple $100s, something always comes up and slaps you in the face. Now your car won't start. Now you gotta dish out money for that. It's always something. You can try to pray about it, but it begins to feel like God is ignoring you because you still wake up with the same problems. That's how trapped feels. Your life begins to feel like a nightmare that you can't wake up from. And I lived like that for 6 years. I used to pull up at that job and sit in my car and cry before I even clocked in every day. I started to bring that job home with me. You ever did that? So you're off the clock. You are at home. You should be living in peace because you're at home with your family, but you can't stop replaying all of the toxic things that they're doing to you at work. These people have taken over your mind. You can't even escape them. I was so stressed about bills, I couldn't even sleep at night anymore. I started to have anxiety, like butterflies in my stomach that I couldn't get rid of. I started to become paranoid. I thought they were gonna fire me. Every single day I thought I was getting fired. And to cope with all that anxiety and that stress, I started drinking. First, it was just a few drinks a week to calm my nerves and help me sleep better. But that quickly spiraled out of control. And I became an alcoholic. And the only reason why I'm telling you any of this is because if any of my story is resonating with you, then you are already doing something very, very hard. Going to a job that drains your spirit, that is hard. Crying every day because you are so miserable. It's hard. And see, the reason why I was so depressed back then was because I had nothing in my life to look forward to. Back then, I didn't have any hobbies. I didn't have any interests. So my life began to feel like it was on repeat. Get up, go to work, be miserable, come home, cry, drink, sleep, repeat, week after week, month after month, and year after year. For the longest time, I thought there was something wrong with me because I was depressed with my life. There was nothing wrong with me. That is depressing. Anybody would be depressed with a life like that. Ladies, there is nothing wrong with you. Yes, it is depressing. But now I get to wake up every day doing what I love. And that's the beauty of online business, is you can monetize anything. Anything your heart desires, you can do. No, your idea is not stupid. No, your idea is not far-fetched. I don't have to prove this to you. Look at your For You page. How many times do you scroll and see the darndest things? And you're sitting there scratching your head trying to figure out how the hell are they getting paid to do this? I'm gonna tell you how. You wanna know how? Because they decided to let go of fear. That's how. It's not because they're more special than you. It's not because they're more talented than you. No. It's because they decided to let go of fear. And you make the choice to hold on to it. And I want to make sure I say one more thing before we move forward, because I need you to hear me loud and clear. I hope you realize that if you work 40 hours a week or more, you spend more time at work with people you don't even like than you do with your family that loves you. See, I literally worked 9 to 5. So what should have only been a 20-minute drive into the city is over an hour because I'm stuck in rush hour traffic. So an hour to work, an hour back, that's 2 hours in the car. 8 hours at work, 1 hour lunch break, that's 11 hours out of my day gone. It's gone. By the time I do get home, I am drained. I am exhausted. I am defeated. You only get a few hours to spend with your spouse or your children before you have to put everyone to bed just to repeat the cycle again the next day. And let's be clear, your loved ones, they don't get to experience the happy version of you. They don't get to experience the peaceful version of you. They don't get to experience the stress-free version of you. No, that's not their experience. You know what they get to experience? They get to experience the depressed version of you. They get to experience the miserable version of you. The stressed version of you. That's what they get. You put everyone to bed just to repeat the cycle again the next day, just to look forward to the weekend. But respectfully, what are you even looking forward to? Because Friday, you still worked. So they still got 8 hours out of you. Saturday is the only day that you get to do what you want. Sunday, not so much. Nope. Because you have to prepare for the work week, right? So that means you got to cook, you got to clean, you got to do laundry, you got to go to the grocery store, and then you have to mentally prepare yourself for the bullshit sitting on your desk come Monday. Ladies, that's not living. That's surviving. Life is meant to be lived, not survived. I don't know what your religious beliefs are, but I do know this. The God that I serve, He loves me. And He loves me a lot. And if He loves me so much, why would He put me on this earth to be hating the very life that He blessed me with? Why would He want me for that? Why would He put me here to be depressed and crying and drinking to cope? That's not why He put me here. He put me here for a very special reason. And He allowed me the opportunity to find it. And my online business allowed me the opportunity to monetize it. He puts you here for a very special reason, too. Your life is very special, too. Your life is worth more than bills. Your life is worth more than slaving away at a job to make someone else rich while you're counting pennies trying to make ends meet at home. There is something very special about you too. But the problem is, life has a tendency to life. And somewhere on our journey of life, we lose our light. It gets dim. And then it gets dark. Maybe it was toxic family. Maybe it was a toxic relationship, toxic friends. For me, it was a toxic job. But somewhere on your journey of life, you lost your light. And now you're sitting here doubting your ability to do any of this. But I'm here to tell you that you can. I believe that the ideas that we get come from God. God is speaking to us all day. And so if there was anything within you that said, try this, you would be really good at this, post this type of content, start this type of business, that's because God is talking to you. If you even thought the thought, that's because you can. God would not give you ideas that you couldn't do. If it was truly something that you were not capable of doing, it wouldn't have even crossed your mind. But it did, because you can. You can. But in order to actually get it done, you are going to have to let go of fear. Because if you don't, you will continue to not live the dream life that you want to live. You can do this, but you gotta let go of fear. Gotta let go of the fear. Okay? Okay. If you're ready for sales tip number 2, put a 2 in the chat. For those of y'all who are just joining us, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. We are building our online business, but most importantly, we are building ourselves. Ladies, I cannot stress the importance. You are getting in your own way. Your self-doubt, your lack of belief, your lack of consistency and discipline is why it's not getting done. We have to fix who you are. There are things about you that's holding you back. It's not because you're not capable of any of this. It's because you have things going on in your pretty head that is holding you back. Okay? All right. Sales tip number 2. People only buy from people that they like, that they know, and that they trust. People only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. Building ourselves. Yes, we have to build ourselves before we can build the business. I can't make this up. If they don't like you, not gonna buy it. If they don't know you, not gonna buy it. And if they don't trust you, not gonna buy it. So how do we get people to like us? All right, you're gonna do this through your content. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, we said content is anything that you upload to social. So your pictures, your reels, if you go live on any platform, long form YouTube videos, if you post statuses on Facebook, X, whatever, all of that is content. And in our content, we need to make sure we are relatable and we need to make sure we are authentic. In other words, we have to be ourselves. That is how we get people to like us. See, the community that we build, the followers, the viewers, the subscribers, the commenters, those are the people who will buy our products. Some of y'all do yourself a disservice because you're trying to be perfect, but you fail to realize that nobody can connect with perfection because nobody is perfect. People connect with people through emotions, how they can relate to what you're saying in some way, shape, or form. So you have to be yourself. And don't let fear take over and say things like, well, Jazz, well, what if no one likes me? That's impossible. That is impossible. Because there are 8 billion people in this world. Somebody is bound to like you. The internet connects people from all over the place, all different countries. And I used to be fearful of that too. You guys, when you post your content, it goes everywhere. People all over the world can see it. And I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to just help you realize how silly you sound when you say things like people won't like you. There's a whole world of people out there who need you. You have the solution to their problem. Whatever they're struggling with, you can help them. Yes, get out of your head. You do not have to have all your ducks in a row. Get out your head and post the videos. You would be amazed at how many people you are able to motivate just because you were yourself. I can't stress this enough. You guys, I'm in the USA. I have women inside of Glow Up Academy from all over the world. I have women in there from Germany, Australia, Jamaica, Canada, Barbados. I have been to none of those countries. But I was able to help women all over the world just because I was myself and because I didn't overthink my content and I just posted the video. So please get out your head. Thank you, Kay. Get out your head and just post the content. Please be yourself. Okay? Right. We said people only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. All right, cool. Well, how do we get people to know us? All right, I'm gonna tell you. I need you to go live. I need you to go live. And by the way, whether you're faceless or front and center, all of this applies to you. Just because you're a faceless creator doesn't mean that you're getting out of any of this. No, ma'am, you're still gonna do everything. Going live is the best way to get people to know you because it allows people to ask you questions, engage, and interact. And it also allows you to promote your products. You guys, I have been going live for 6 years. Not necessarily on TikTok. I used to do a lot of lives on YouTube and Instagram, okay? I cannot make this up. Most of the money that I have ever made was because of the fact that people saw me live and they were able to connect with me and get a sense of my energy and my vibes. I cannot make this up. Now, some of y'all are gonna be hard-headed as hell and you're gonna say, Jazz, that's great, but I don't wanna go live. No, I'm gonna just say, fine, don't. I told you, I am not the coach that's gonna try to convince you to do anything you don't wanna do. She said, I'm in Canada, so this is what I'm talking about. Social media connects us from all over the world, you guys. But I am gonna remind you, for those of y'all who may not want to go live, you also said that you didn't wanna go to work. That's what you said. You said you were tired of feeling overworked and underpaid. It amazes me how many people are willing to go to a job and build someone else's business and build wealth for other people, but they absolutely refuse to take 30 minutes or an hour to go on live and build wealth for themselves. It is crazy. I don't have to convince you of this. You see this all the time, especially on TikTok. People are selling all day and all night. The internet doesn't sleep. How many times do you scroll on your For You page and you see nothing but creators selling stuff? Clothes, digital products, hair, makeup, perfume. They selling everything. And people are buying because they're going live. Because they're going live. She said, I walk around live all day when I leave the house. There's a lot of people. Zero in my pocket, maybe another pocket's pocket. Well, okay, good question. So good thing. I promise you this. If you go live consistently and with structure, you will make more on live than you ever made at your job. So go live. Now, some of y'all are like, well, I would go live, Jazz. I'm not against it. I'm just a little live shy. Okay. For my live shy ladies, listen. The only reason why you're live shy or camera shy or you're struggling with any type of shyness, it's only because you just don't have enough experience doing it. That's it. It's not because you suck at life. It's not because this isn't meant for you. It's only because you just don't have enough experience. Maybe you went live once 6 months ago, but you haven't done it since. Okay, I have been on this live for 108 minutes. And one thing I know about people is this. If you're still here, that's because you trust what I say to be true. Otherwise, you would have left. So I'm going to need you to trust this. If you go live consistently I promise you, you will get to a point where you are no longer life shy. Anything that you do over and over and over again, you get better at. And I don't have to convince you, look at the proof in your own life. You didn't always know how to walk. Now you do that just fine. How? Because you did it consistently. You didn't always know how to read and write, but you do that just fine. How? Because you did it consistently. You didn't always know how to do your job or drive, and now you do that just fine. How? Because you did it consistently. So just imagine what would happen if you went live consistently. Imagine that. We said people only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. All right, cool. Well, how do we get people to trust us? All right. There's a reason why I'm telling you to post content consistently. And no, it's not for your health. The reason why I'm telling you to post consistently is because the more people see you, the more they begin to trust you. Consistency builds trust. I don't know if you know this or not, or if you're living under a rock, but people work very hard for their money. You work hard. I work hard. Everyone is out here working hard. And if you want someone to trust you with their hard-earned money, well, then you're going to have to be trustworthy, which means you have to be consistent. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, I do want to do an exercise with you guys. For those of you guys who do not have a product yet, sit this out, take your notes. For those of you guys who do have a product, but you're struggling to make the sales that you want, this is for you. First, what we got to do is remove the ego and the pride. Now, some of y'all can't do that because you think you know everything. And there's nothing that anyone can teach you that you don't already know. Well, fine. I'm not going to convince you otherwise. Just know pride comes before the fall. Now, for those of y'all who can remove ego and pride and you recognize that there's always room for growth and improvement, I'm speaking to you. First, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our profile and we're going to ask ourselves some questions. We have to be honest. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Don't you ever forget that. Now ask yourself, is it clear as day who you are, what you do, and how you can help people? I also need you to ask yourself this and be honest. Take the emotion out. If you were not you, would you buy from you? If you were not you, would you buy from you? If the answer to any of those questions is no, then you should no longer be confused as to why people are not buying from you yet. There should be no more confusion. But the reason why I say yet is because you have the power to fix it. So just fix it. Make it clear who you are, what you do, and how you can help people so that when people do go to your profile, they know exactly what they can expect to get from you. The problem is you make the choice not to. That's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of business. And that's the beauty of everything that we've talked about so far on this live. Anything, and I literally mean anything, stop overthinking. That is not giving you the results that you want. You have the power to fix it, but you make the choice not to. I have already accepted the fact that I am not the life coach for everybody. I have already accepted the fact that I am not the business coach for everybody. Because believe it or not, most people are not really looking for solutions to their problems. Most people are just looking to pass time. Most people are just looking for someone that they can complain and vent to. But the minute you present them with the very solution to fix the problem that they have, they bail. They don't do it because they weren't really looking for help. I'm not here for that shit, like at all, at all. I am here to help the woman who actually wants to change. But in order to help you change, I have to make you aware of what you have been doing so that we can fix it. Self-awareness is key. And a lot of people are not self-aware. So let me go ahead and make you aware. Anything that is not giving you the results that you want, you have the power to fix it. So for those of you guys who are struggling with live shyness or camera shyness or any type of shyness, fix it. I already told you how. Start going live consistently. Start sitting in front of your camera consistently. And eventually, within 2 weeks, you will no longer be live shy or camera shy. And even though I gave you the exact solution to fix that problem, most of you are still going to leave this live and not do any of the things that I told you to do, and then sit there and have the audacity to complain about why you're live shy and camera shy. That's because that's what you choose to be. That's why. That's why. Because you're not doing what I told you to do. Which lets me know you weren't really looking for a solution. You were just looking to pass time. If you are lacking confidence, fix it. I already told you how. Start keeping the promises that you made to yourself. If you told yourself that you were going to start a business, then start it. If you told yourself that you were going to create content, then create it. If you told yourself that you were going to lose weight, then lose it. If you told yourself that you were going to cut off toxic people, then cut them off. And even though I told you exactly what to do to build your confidence by keeping the promises that you make to yourself, you're still going to get off of this live, not do what I told you to do, and then sit there and complain about why you're insecure. Well, at that point, that's what you chose to be. You want to be insecure, because if you did it, you would do the things that I told you to do. That is a choice. Life gives us choices. Every day you have a choice. It might be hard to do the choice, sure, but do not sit here and say that you do not have a choice. Every day you get to decide. Are you going to keep doing what you've been doing, or are you going to choose to do something different? The problem is we love to stay in our comfort zone. Our comfort zone is just our daily routines and habits. It's just what we do to fill our time. It's who we talk to, it's the foods we eat, it's the content we consume, it's the vices that we have. That's our comfort zone. It's just what we do every single day. And even though that comfort zone is not giving you the results that you want, you still choose to stay there. You still choose to scroll social media. You still choose to hang out with people who aren't even doing anything with their lives. Those are the choices that you make every single day. You make the choice to stay in your comfort zone. But notice that comfort zone that we live in every single day isn't giving us the results that we want. It's keeping us depressed. It is keeping us anxious, frustrated, resentful, broke, insecure. And even though we see exactly where our comfort zone keeps us, we still choose not to take a half an inch out and do something a little bit different to get to the results that we want. In order to get the results that you want for your life, you are going to have to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone. You are going to have to start switching up your routine and your habits and who you choose to associate with. Because if you do not, you will continue to stay where you are. And you already know where that gets you. Nowhere. It doesn't get you anywhere. The money that you want, the success that you want, the happiness that you want, the confidence that you want, the freedom that you want is not in your comfort zone. If it was, you would already have it. A lot of times, we live in a trapped mindset. And we've been living in this trap mindset for so long that we don't even recognize that we're living in one. And you have convinced yourself with your soul and everything within you that you are trapped. And that there's nothing that you can do to get out of what you're feeling. And then what makes matters even worse is we attract what we are. Okay? The reason why you have the friends that you have is because y'all share similar stances on things. You have similar opinions, similar beliefs. And so you living in a trap mindset, you 9 times out of 10 have friends who also live in trapped mindsets. So it's just a whole bunch of trapped minded people giving each other advice. But what if I told you you are not trapped? You are not trapped. And you always have choices. But in order to get untrapped, you're going to have to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone and do something a little bit different. I used to have a trap mindset too. I really used to believe, I convinced myself with my soul that I was trapped at that 9 to 5 that I hated. And there wasn't anything that anyone could tell me to convince me otherwise. But I am here to tell you today, I was never trapped at that job. I was never trapped. I had choices. I had options. See, I could have quit my 9 to 5 and moved back home. I had that option. But I didn't want to. Because who really wants to move back home? Oh, God. Me and my mom argue so much. Oh, gosh. So I made the choice to stay at that job, which was my comfort zone, than to just take a half an inch out and do something a little bit different and go back home and then try to find another job. I got comfortable with being miserable. That comfort zone that I refused to leave was stressing me. It was making me miserable. It was making me anxious, depressed. It was keeping me broke, but I still chose to stay there than do something a little bit different, even if it's just temporary until I find something else. I could have quit my full-time job and just went back to fast food for a little while. I worked all fast food chains. That's what I came from. But I got comfortable with the status quo. Monday to Friday, weekends and holidays off, $60,000 a year. Why would I go back to fast food? Oh, gosh, no. What if they want me to work nights? No. What if they want me to work weekends? No, not weekends. Not weekends. What if they want me to work holidays? No, because I need Columbus Day. Because I have to have Columbus Day. That's the status quo. What? Yeah. Even though that 9 to 5 was draining me, it was making me miserable, it was depressing me, I still made the choice to stay there than to take a half an inch out, go back to fast food, even if it was temporary, just until I found something better. You are not trapped. You are not trapped. And you always have choices. And so what did I choose to do? I chose to complain. I chose to vent. I chose to throw pity parties for myself. I chose to talk about what's not fair. I chose to make excuses. I chose to procrastinate. I chose to do all of the things except the one thing that would have changed my entire life, which was leave that damn job. I had the power to fix it, but I made the choice not to. I made the choice to stay miserable because I got comfortable with misery. But I was not trapped. Some of y'all have convinced yourself that you don't have the ability to fix it yet because you just need more information. And you have convinced yourself that if you just watch more TikTok lives, and if you just watch more YouTube videos, if you just archive more reels, and if you just ask ChatGPT more questions, then you will get all the information that you need, and then you will have the ability to fix it later. But I am here to tell you, you are not lacking information. Matter of fact, you have more information than you even know what to do with. You've already watched all of the TikTok live coaches. You've seen everyone's face at least once. You have watched all of the glow up content. You have archived the reels. You have already asked ChatGPT 2,000 questions last week. You are not lacking information. What you are lacking is implementation, meaning you don't execute shit, which is why I made the keyword of this live execution, because you're not doing that. You are the woman who makes excuse after excuse as to why she can't do it and why it's not going to work for you. You are the woman who procrastinates. You are the woman who talks about what she'll do tomorrow and next week and next year. You are the woman who will distract yourself on social media and binge watching Love Island. That is you. You are the woman who will do all of the things except the one thing that will change your life. You will throw pity parties for yourself. You'll feel sorry for yourself. You'll vent and you'll complain, but you won't start. You will do everything but start. You don't execute, and that is the problem. You're gonna have to execute. You've already taken notebooks and notebooks of notes. You have all the notes. You have to execute. You have to change. See, some of you guys are habitual course buyers. You buy course after course after course. But you haven't changed who you are. Because there are things about you that don't align with who you want to become. I'm going to make the assumption that you want to be the version of yourself who is confident, who shows up and lives life on her terms. I'm going to assume that you want to run your business and not care what people think. I'm going to assume that you want to be more disciplined, that you follow through with the promises that you make to yourself, that you know how to prioritize yourself and not feel guilty about it. I'm going to assume that you only want people around you who pour into you, who love you, and who do not drain you. I'm going to assume that's the version of you that you want to become. But in order to become that version, you're going to have to change who you are, because who you are today does not align with that. You can go and spend $5,000 more on courses, but until you change you, none of those courses will work. Not one. And I don't have to convince you, are they working? No. Because you haven't changed you. See, you can become that version. It's not out of reach for you. That version of you is already within, but it's buried under the fear. It's buried under the limiting beliefs. It's buried under the procrastination. It's buried under not sticking to the plan. And until you change who you are, you will not get the results that you want. We are the common denominator in our own life. And it is you getting in your own way. Some of us are extremely entitled. Entitlement is at an all-time high. And you've been living in this sense of entitlement for so long that you don't even realize how entitled you have become. And you have convinced yourself, deep down in your soul, that if you don't start today, you are entitled to tomorrow. And if you don't start tomorrow, you're entitled to next month. And if you don't start next month, you are entitled to next year. And if you don't start next year, you're entitled to 5 years from now. But I'm extremely confused because the last time I checked, tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. So my question for you is, how do you know that you'll be here next month? Who told you that? How do you know that you'll be here next year? Who told you that? You don't know that. You don't know that. But even though tomorrow isn't guaranteed, you still make the choice to not live the days that you are blessed with to the fullest. You still make the choice to waste the precious, valuable time that you do have because you're entitled. You have become entitled. You don't have as much time as you think you have. And eventually, you will run out of tomorrows. Time is the most valuable asset that you have. It is not money. Some of y'all confused. Some of y'all really believe that money is your most valuable asset. No, it's not. It is not money. It is your time. Because at least if you lose $500, you can still get it back. Yeah, it would suck. Yeah, you'd be pissed off. Of course. But guess what? You still have the ability to make 500 more. Might take you a while, okay, but at least you have the ability to do it. But go ahead and lose your time. You don't get not 1 second of that back. You can't make up time that you lost. 2025 came and left. It is over. When you waste your time, the only thing you get to do is regret it. Time is your most precious, valuable asset. And you're not even being intentional with the time that you are blessed with. And I don't have to convince you of this. You can see this for yourself. Time is moving quickly. It's just flying by. Be honest. How many times a day do you look at the clock and say to yourself, wow, I cannot believe it is 8:30 in the morning. Wow. I cannot believe it is almost April 2026. Wow. I cannot believe I am 35 years old, or insert your age there. If you're anything like me, you do that every day. So you already see for yourself how quickly time is moving, and you still make the choice to waste your precious, valuable time. You're going to have to change that. You are going to have to be more intentional with the time that you are blessed with. You are going to have to start making yourself a priority in your own life. You are going to have to start setting aside 30 minutes, an hour, I don't care, to working on your goals and the things that you want to accomplish in your life. You are going to have to start only spending your time with people who truly love you and value you and respect you. You are going to have to change. One of the toughest reality pills that I had to swallow in my own life, your life and the direction it's going in, whether it's going great or not so great, is a direct reflection of the choices that you make. I used to be 100 pounds overweight, and my weight was a direct reflection of the choices that I made. Can't argue that. My fault. For those of you guys struggling financially, your finances and the direction they're going in, whether they're going great or not so great, is a direct reflection of the choices that you make. When I heard that, my ego shattered, completely destroyed. For the longest time, I thought the reason that I was living paycheck to paycheck was just because I didn't make enough money. And if I just made more money, then that paycheck to paycheck problem would go away. Nope. You wanna know why I was living paycheck to paycheck? You wanna know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because I was living above my means. That's why. I was buying cars I couldn't afford. I was living in apartments I couldn't afford. I did that to myself. And my finances were a direct reflection of the choices that I made. Now, some of y'all can sit here and say, Jazz, I hear you. People do live above their means, but that's not my story. How can I get ahead financially when prices are as high as they are? I can't even afford to be alive. How is that my fault? Your finances are a direct reflection of the choices that you make. And I'm going to tell you why. Ladies, times have been hard. True or false? This didn't happen last night. Food prices, rent prices, gas prices have been on the rise for years. True or false? But every day, you make the choice to do nothing about it. See, a lot of y'all already knew what an ebook was, because I'm not the first TikTok coach you've come across. You could have launched your ebook 6 months ago. You would be making sales today. You could have started that YouTube channel 4 months ago. It would be monetized today. You could have started that TikTok last month. You would be building your community today. And what did we say our community was? Our viewers, our commenters, our subscribers, our followers. Those are the people who buy our products. But every day, you make the choice not to. You choose to complain. You choose to vent. You choose to throw pity parties for yourself. You choose to talk about what's not fair. You choose to distract yourself. You choose to make excuses. You choose to do all of the things except the one thing that will change your entire life, which is start. You refuse to start. Listen, I'm not perfect at all. The version of me that y'all see today is a reflection of the changes that I had to make. I'm nothing like who I used to be, not even close. I told you guys earlier, I was 100 pounds overweight. And for the longest time, I would yo-yo diet. That means I would lose 20, gain 40. Lose 40, gain 60. And it was a toxic cycle year after year of just gradually getting bigger and bigger, never being able to maintain weight loss. And for the longest time, I used to make excuses for it. I used to say the reason why I can't lose weight is because I have thyroid problems. The reason I can't lose weight is because I have metabolism problems. I could never just look at myself and be like, I'm the reason why. It was always something else. I told you the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. I had made it very clear to myself that I didn't know what I was doing, because if I did, I would have lost it and kept it off. So I decided to take a new approach, try something I haven't done before. I decided to hire a personal trainer. I decided to get around someone who knew more than me. I decided to get around someone who would hold me accountable for once. and I lost 100 pounds. And I have kept that weight off for 4 years now. You know, my personal trainer was the first person in my life who prioritized health and wellness. He showed me what it looks like to prioritize exercising even when you don't feel like it. Even when you got a whole bunch of family stuff going on, still putting your body first. No matter how busy he is, because he runs his own business too, he still makes sure he eats healthy foods. He showed me what that looked like. He rubbed off on me. My whole family is obese. My whole family is obese. I told you guys, I used to be full of excuses, and I used to procrastinate too. My motto was, why do today what I can put off till tomorrow? In other words, I'll just start later. And later never showed up. Later never came. Nope. I used to live in fear. Scary as hell. And notice the fear that we hold on to is stuff that hasn't even happened. We are literally hyping ourselves up for worst case scenario. You notice that? These are things that we have concocted in our head that might happen, but it's always worst case. And there's no proof that it's going to happen. Why do we always go to worst case? Worst case scenario, I fail. Well, what if best case scenario, you succeed? I used to be my biggest bully to myself. I know a lot of y'all can relate to that. The things I used to say to myself was absolutely disgusting. You know, I used to call myself stupid on a daily basis. Now let me ask you, how the hell was I gonna be a successful entrepreneur when I keep calling myself stupid? I wasn't. That had to change. Ladies, let me tell you this. Your internal world is a reflection of your external. If you got chaos going on internally in your mind, I know for a fact your life is chaotic as hell. Don't even have to meet you to know that. If you disrespect yourself in here, I know for a fact that you have people in your life that disrespect the hell out you. But that's how you treat yourself. You are going to have to start treating yourself and talking to yourself with respect. If you want to succeed at anything, you cannot keep calling yourself stupid. You're not stupid. You cannot keep telling yourself what you can't do because you can't. Stop talking to yourself like you don't have sense. If you wouldn't say that to a child, then you shouldn't say it to yourself. It's as simple as that. One of the biggest distractions that I struggled with in my own journey was alcohol abuse. And I told you that I started that toxic habit when I had that toxic ass job. And you would have thought that once I quit the job, that problem would have just went away. No. Ladies, your problems don't just go away, okay? If you don't intentionally fix them, they just get worse. Every year I was getting bigger and bigger until I fixed it. My alcohol problem got worse too. See, at least when I was working, I couldn't be drunk for 8 hours because I had to work. Well, I quit my job during COVID. Everything was shut down. I had nothing but time to get drunk. And see, I quit my job on a whim. I didn't have much money saved. I had just bought a house 6 months prior to quitting. Okay, I hadn't even been in my house for a whole year yet, but I was getting fed up. I had been there for 6 years. I was turning 30 in a few months, and I was like, I'm not bringing this toxic ass shit into my 30s. You just get fed up, right? And I believe God kept telling me, Jazz, quit, quit, quit. So I quit. Put in my 2-week notice, and I was out the door. Now, my plan was to live off of my stimulus for a few months while I tried to build my business. But granted, I don't have children, so my stimulus was not that much. I had about $2,000 to my name, and that was not gonna get me far because my mortgage was $1,900. So the math won't math it from the beginning, but I didn't care, okay? So now I'm at home, I'm doing all the things that you do. I'm watching the TikTok lives, watching the YouTube videos, just trying to make it all make sense. Content creation, digital products, algorithms, platforms, monetizations. It's not working. My platforms are not growing. I'm not making sales. And I'm getting pissed off and frustrated because I'm running out of money. I had a lot of ego back then. I was very prideful. okay? And so my mindset back then was it's never Jasmine's fault. So if you had a problem with me, that's because there's a problem with you. But it's not me because I'm perfect as is. I never wanted to look at myself in the mirror and realize I'm the reason why. So I'm blaming YouTube. It's YouTube's fault that no one's watching my videos because YouTube doesn't like me. It's Instagram's fault that no one's viewing my content because Instagram doesn't like me. It's not me. It's everybody and everything else. And see, I was convincing myself that I was doing everything that I could, but in fact, I wasn't because I was always drunk. So no, I was not posting consistently. No, I was not going live. It was my fault as to why my platforms weren't growing. But I had too much ego to admit that. Then I started getting mad at God because I'm like, God, you told me to quit. You told me the time was now. I quit and I'm running out of money. I had made a payment arrangement with my lights. My light bill was $700. And if I did not pay that bill on the date that was set, they're cutting them off. There's no more arrangements. I already missed a mortgage payment. If I miss another, they're going to start trying to foreclose on a house I hadn't even been in yet for a whole year. I'm getting stressed and I'm pissed. I didn't want to admit to myself that it's my fault. My ego couldn't handle it. The shame, the guilt, the embarrassment. I couldn't say that I had a drinking problem. No. So I just continued to lie to myself some more. I convinced myself that as long as I don't start drinking until after 11 a.m., I'm not an alcoholic. Because in my mind, alcoholics, they start their day with alcohol. So as long as I wait till after 11, even though I drink all day, every day, as long as I don't start my day with alcohol, then I don't have a problem. So there's nothing to talk about. What? I cannot make this up. The worst lies are the lies that you tell yourself. But you get to a point where you can't keep running from you. And eventually, you're going to hit a brick wall. Eventually, God is going to force you to listen. Now, I believe God is within you. He's not outside of you. He is within you. So I have God within me. You have a God within you. But he's not outside of you. Those ideas that you get, that's God talking to you. When you feel something that says, try this, do it this way, I think you'd be really good at this, that's God talking to you. That intuition, that feeling, that gut you get, that's God trying to warn you of something. One thing I've noticed that we tend to do is avoid listening to God. Because let's be real, deep down inside, we know what we're supposed to be doing. We know what we should be doing, but we still choose not to. We say we listen to God. It sounds good in conversation. It sounds good on paper. But in reality, we don't. And we actually try to distract ourselves to avoid listening. If that's not true, okay, well, let me ask you, how many ideas did God give you last year that you didn't even try, since you listened so much? Exactly. If that's not true, let me ask you, how many times have you gone against your gut feeling just to find out later you were right? Exactly. We try our best not to listen. But eventually, God is going to make you listen because you're going to hit a brick wall. And I'll never forget, I was sitting on my bed crying. And I was like, God, they're about to take my house. I don't have the money. I'm going to lose my house. God said, Jazz, what are you doing? You have been begging for a business for years. which is true. I had been. He said, the opportunity is literally right in front of you and you're wasting it. So what are we going to do? Are you going to keep doing what you've been doing, which is a whole bunch of nothing? Or are you going to change? I decided to change. I decided to fix it. I decided to stop drinking. Haven't had a drink in almost 5 years. I will never touch alcohol again. I am done. And since I decided to change, my whole life began to change. I started posting consistently. Platforms started growing. Started making sales. All because I decided to change. For the first time in my life, I started to say nice things to myself. Now I'm saying things to myself like, I'm amazing. I'm really smart. I'm saying things like, Jazz, you're really good at this. Never used to talk to myself like that. For the first time in my life, I'm starting to have confidence in myself. I'm starting to feel good about me, all because I decided to change. See, what a lot of people fail to realize, and what I didn't realize back then, was this. In order to get something, you are going to have to give up something. Can't have both. In order to get something, you have to give something up. In order for me to lose weight, I had to give up fast food. I had to give up soda. But I got my health back. In order for me to get the business that I had been begging God for, I had to give up excuses. I had to give up procrastination. I had to give up fear. I had to give up limiting beliefs. I had to give up negative self-talk. I had to give up distractions. I had to give up alcohol. But when I gave all those things up, God opened the floodgates of heaven for me. He gave me everything I asked for and more. See, I had just asked God to help me make $60,000 a year to replace my job. And I even started negotiating that. I said, Lord, if you could help me make $45K, I'll make it work. I'll cut the cable off. Just please help me get out this job. Please. He gave me 6 figures. I asked God for 1,000 Instagram followers. I don't even know 10 people in real life. So in my mind, I'm like, if I get 1,000 people to follow me, wow. God gave me 100,000 Instagram followers. I asked God for 5,000 YouTube subscribers. I don't know. I'm like, 5,000 is a lot. God gave me 30,000 YouTube subscribers. I asked God for just a little bit of confidence so I could stop crying all the time and feeling sorry for myself. God gave me a lot of confidence. There's nothing I don't think I can't do. I keep all of the promises that I make to myself, and I can't even remember the last time I cried. All because I decided to change. See, the woman I was back then didn't align with this version of me. the version of me that I always wanted to be. See, I always wanted to be that woman who was running her business and not caring what people thought, who knew how to put herself first and not feel bad about it, who knew how to tell people no without having to explain, who knew how to cut people off who are draining her and using her, the version that knows how to show up even when you don't feel like it, the version that's just always pouring into herself. I always wanted to be that version. But until I changed who I wasn't going to be this. See, this version was always within me. However, it was buried under the fear, the limiting beliefs, the excuses, and the procrastination. And until I changed who I was not going to become this. See, a lot of times we delay our own blessings. God heard you loud and clear. He knows exactly what you want. You have told him time and time and time again. He heard you. And he is willing to open the floodgates of heaven for you too and bless you 5,000 million times more than what you even asked for. But the problem is he gives us free will. So in other words, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. He's not going to stop you. So if you want to waste 5 years, he'll let you. If you want to waste 10 years, he will let you. Some people never get all of their blessings because they refuse to change. But when you change, when you listen, when you become obedient, he gives you everything that you asked for on a silver platter. He blesses the hell out you. And sure, maybe change is hard. Okay, fine. Maybe it is. But the life that you're currently living is hard. Crying every single day because you are so unhappy right now is hard. I've been there. I've done that. I know. Dragging yourself to a job that drains your spirit every single day is hard. I have been there. I have done that. I know. Knowing deep down in your soul that there is something better for you and not even living it is hard. I've been there. I've done that. I know. I've done both hearts. But I will always choose this one because at least this hard comes with peace. You can't even put a price tag on that. This hard comes with purpose. This hard comes with freedom. This hard comes with happiness. This hard comes with confidence in yourself. This hard comes with the income that you need to live the life that you want. I have been telling you this all morning. If you even thought the thought, that's because you can. God would not give you ideas that you were not capable of. So if you thought about making content, that's because you're more than capable. Otherwise, it wouldn't even cross your mind. If you thought about starting a business, that's because you can. He wouldn't let it cross your mind. But it did. Because you can. But in order to actually get it done, you are going to have to let go of fear. You are going to have to take a half an inch out your comfort zone, that zone that you've been living in for years, and do something a little bit different today. That comfort zone that you refuse to leave is draining you. I don't have to convince you. Ask yourself and be honest. That comfort zone that you've been living in for years is frustrating you. It is depressing you. It is causing anxiety. It is keeping you resentful and frustrated. You're gonna have to take a half an inch out if you truly want to change your life. For those of you guys who want to change, I want to help you. But I can only help people who want it. I can't help people who don't. If you are 1000% happy with your life and the direction that it's going in, then respectfully keep doing what you're doing. If you like it, I love it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Fine. But if you're not 1000% happy with your life and the direction it's going in, and you want to change it, then I want to help you. Inside of Glow Up Academy, I'm going to teach you how to run your online business from scratch. Everything that you need is inside of Glow Up Academy. For those of you guys who want to monetize your content, your YouTube, your Instagram, your TikToks, fine, I'll teach you. It's all in there. All of my platforms are monetized. If you want to sell on TikTok Live, how I do, how thousands of creators do, how my students do, then fine. It is all in there. The strategies, the pain points, every single thing. It's in there. If you want to create an ebook, I'll show you how, step by step. It's all in there. Maybe you don't even want an ebook. Maybe you want to do a private community. Fine, I'll teach you. I have made hundreds upon thousands off of private communities. Every single thing that you need to be successful with your online business is inside of Glow Up Academy. But not only am I going to help you build your online business from scratch, most importantly, you and I are going to build you. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your consistency. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your discipline. Yeah. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your consistency and your accountability. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your confidence. So many people refuse to look at the woman in the mirror. There are things about you that is holding you back. The reason why you're not reaching the goals that you have for yourself is because you refuse to change who you are. Glow Up Academy is the space where not only do we build your online business, but we build you so that you can finally become the version of you who not only starts, but actually follows through. Before I let you join Glow Up Academy, there's a couple of things. Number one, I only let 10 people in at one time because, believe it or not, not everybody has the same journey. Some people have a product but no audience. Some people have an audience but no product. Some people have a million ideas, but we got to lock in on one. So you listening to all the ideas God gave you. But I told y'all earlier, money flows where energy goes. So some of y'all have your hands in 10 different ideas, spreading yourself way too thin. And that's why nothing is moving. I tell my students, we're going to pick your number one favorite idea. And we are going to lock into that for 5 years. That's right. Not 5 days. Nope. Nope. Not 5 months. Nope. 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 5 years. I'm telling you the truth. 5 years. Once that one is building and flourishing, then we'll reach back down into the pile and build another one. Some of you guys have no clue what you want to build. Fine, we'll figure it out together. And some of you guys don't necessarily want to start a business right now. There are other things that you want to work on. You want to work on self-care. Maybe you want to start prioritizing yourself in your own life. Maybe you want to lose weight. Whatever it is, I can help you. I have just noticed for myself, having more than 10 people join at one time overwhelms me, because I want to make sure I'm able to pour into you the way that you deserve. So that's why I cap it at 10. One more thing. Glow Up Academy. I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. I told you, I'm only interested in helping people who want it. I cannot force change upon you. I cannot convince you. The woman who knows she wants to change, that's who I want to help. Because she's gonna move. She may not know how to change. She doesn't have to know how, because I'm going to teach her. But she knows she wants to. And that's all I need. So, once that 10-minute timer starts, just move. Stop overthinking. Just move. Because deep down in your soul, you know I can help you. That's why you're still here. I keep telling you, go off of your gut. Your gut will never steer you wrong. One last thing. Glow Up Academy is lifetime access. So once you're inside forever, okay? So you will always have access to every single thing that's in there. All the information that's in there and what I update, because things are constantly changing, these platforms and algorithms, it's always in there, okay? You also always have access to join our live coaching calls. We go live inside. You will also always have access to ask me any questions that you have, any feedback that you need, whatever you're struggling with. I am only one message away. I respond to all of my students, okay? So, because Glow Up Academy is lifetime access, I charge $597 and you are inside forever. However, because you were here, you were present, you took notes, you asked questions, and most importantly, you promised me you were going to execute. I'm going to take the price down. It will stay down for the 10 minutes that the timer is moving. But once that 10-minute timer goes off, the price does go back up to $597. You can use Afterpay or Klarna to break that payment up. And yes, women do join at $597 because they know it's worth it. Okay? One more thing, you guys, I'm going to show you. Once you're inside, there's a message icon here. There's an inbox right here. Once I get off of this live, so in about 10 minutes, I'm gonna be inside messaging you because I wanna know more about you. What you're struggling with, what have you tried, what are your ideas? I need to know everything because I can't help you if I don't know what I'm helping. Please make sure that you respond to my message because what I'm going to do is create a plan specifically for you. No, Lord, no. No. It is not $5,000. No. I'm going to create a plan specifically for you. No. So I need you to make sure you respond to me. All right. Everyone's different. So we're going to figure out what works best for you. Like I said earlier, we're going to crawl before we walk before we run. So I got to figure out where we're crawling. What is the number one step? So please make sure you respond to me so that we can start executing today. Some of you guys join, but you're doing things with your family. That's fine. Before you go to bed tonight, I need you to promise me that you're going to respond. I'm also constantly checking in with my students to make sure everything that we've been talking about is working for you. So please always make sure you check your messages. There's a message icon right here at the top. Okay? I just want to show you that. All right, I'm going to show TikTok how to join first, then YouTube. YouTube, y'all's instructions are a little bit different, so just kind of hang tight. Okay. TikTok, in order for you guys to lock in, you're gonna click on my profile picture up at the top twice. You're gonna come to my profile. Now, TikTok number 1 that says turn your phone into an ATM. Y'all are on my main account, so the profile does not look like this, but the link is still the same, okay? You're gonna click where it says stand.store. And then here we are. Become the woman who actually follows through. I have marked it down. It is normally $5.97. It is $2.49 for the next 10 minutes, okay? Scroll down, feel free to read my reviews. I do not mind. Enter your name and quadruple check your email. You guys, this is critical. This is critical. A lot of times the autocorrect will get you, or sometimes you misspell Gmail or .com. Okay, I need you to quadruple check this before you hit start my glow up, because that's where everything is being sent. Okay, you can use Afterpay or Klarna. Click start my glow up. Within 30 seconds, you should be receiving that very first email from Stan. If you do not get that, that's because there was a spelling mistake in your email, but no worries, I will fix it here on live and get you exactly where you need to be, okay? So please make sure you quadruple check your email address. And do not leave my live until you confirm to me that you received everything and that you are fully inside. If there's any tech problems, we will fix it right here. Some of y'all join and dip. Do not dip until you confirm that you got everything and you are fully inside of Glow Up Academy, okay? YouTube, because like I said, as soon as I get off of here, I'm sending you a message. So I need to know what's going on, okay? YouTube, in order for you guys to lock in, you're gonna leave my live, you're gonna come to my channel, you're gonna click on this link right here that says stand.store. And then here we are, same thing. Become the woman who actually follows through. It is marked down to $2.49. Scroll down. Read my reviews, I don't mind. Enter your name, quadruple check your email address. You can use Afterpay or Klarna to break that payment up and still get in at $2.49. And then click start my glow up, okay? Within the 30 seconds, you'll see the first email from Stan. The second email is coming from me. It says Jasmine Spencer, okay? Because it's lifetime access, there's no fees or dues. I'm manually sending you access inside of Glow Up Academy. There's a yellow button that says join now. I need you to click that and confirm to me that you see everything, okay? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and set the timer. 1 second, I'm about to send out that second email now for the few of you guys who did join. Okay, the timer has started. Shanice, can you check your email for me? Shanice. And not only do I want you to confirm that you received the email, I want you guys to actually enter inside, okay? Okay. It's $2.49 for the next 10 minutes. All right. Shanice, Chrissy, can you check your email for me, please? I'm waiting on Shanice and Chrissy, all right? So we have a few more minutes. Shanice and Chrissy, please do not leave until you confirm. I believe in my dreams and my ability to achieve them. I believe in my dreams and my ability to achieve them. And if you don't, that's the problem. That's the problem. Some of you guys asked me, am I more of a life coach or a business coach? Honestly, you guys, I'm more of a life coach. Because the thing is this, if we don't fix what you have going on and how you prioritize things and how you dedicate time to certain things, it doesn't matter how many email templates I give you, because you're not gonna do it. I could tell you exactly how to monetize your YouTube channel in a few months. But if you don't even believe you're worthy of success, you're not gonna do it. You're gonna self-sabotage like you've been doing. You're gonna start talking about, well, my lighting, my angles, my background. None of that even matters. None of that matters. Nobody cares where you're recording the video. No one gives two shits. But you're self-sabotaging because deep down inside, you don't even believe you're worthy of the freedom. So we have to fix all of that. We gotta fix all of that. If you don't learn how to tell people no, so that you can have the time to work on what's important to you, you're not going to set aside the time, the 20 minutes, the 30 minutes, or an hour, whatever it is we established for you. There's so many other things that go into running a business besides the business. People leave that out. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. I cannot stand it. Entrepreneurship is a self-development journey. Any successful entrepreneur will tell you the truth. You got to change who you are. The routines and the habits, the things that you put first, the things that you believe about yourself. We got to fix all that. Because all of the tools that I use to run my business is inside. Okay, so you're not going to not get that. But again, the things you have going on in this pretty head of yours is what's holding you back. So I spend way more time helping women build their confidence than I ever spend teaching them how to send out an email list. I spend way more time helping women develop the discipline to actually follow through even when they don't feel like it than I ever spend teaching them how to make a video. I can't make this up. Because once you become confident, let's be clear, you're not worried about what people think of you. You could care less. Once you become confident, you're gonna do what you said you was gonna do because that's who you are now. So you already know, if you said to yourself, I'm gonna spend an hour working on my business, I already know you're gonna do it because now you believe that you're worthy of that time for yourself. Once you become confident, there's no doubt in your head, is this gonna work? Because you already know who you are and you know it's gonna work because you know you put in that work. No one can convince you otherwise. So this is why we spend way much more time building you. Okay, perfect, thank you. Building you, changing you, okay? Let me check to make sure I see you inside. 1 second, Chrissy. Okay, yes, I see you. You are good to go. A few more minutes and I'm gonna be sending you a message, okay? I'm still waiting. Hold on. All right, Hannah, can you check your email for me to confirm you received the email from Jasmine Spencer? Hannah, okay. Yes, it's 2:49 right now, absolutely. Hannah, I'm not sure which live you're on. Y'all, please don't leave until you confirm you received everything. Please, please, please. I like to make sure everyone's where they're supposed to be because as soon as I get off of this live, I hop right inside. I know that I have the, I know that I have the power to make my dreams come true. Amen. I know that I have the power to make my dreams come true. If you don't know it, you better know it. Gotta know it. Gotta know it. You may not know how to make them come true, but you know you have the power to. You know you have the power to. Okay? Yes. It's okay to leave my comfort zone. It's okay to leave my comfort zone. Deep down inside, you know exactly what you should be doing. You can't convince me otherwise. You know. You just got really good at ignoring it, but you know. TikTok, in order for you guys to lock in, you're going to click on my profile picture up at the top twice. Come to my profile. Don't forget, TikTok number 1, the one that says turn your phone into an ATM. Y'all are on my main account, so it does not look like this, but the link is still the same, okay? Stand.store. It's right there, okay? Same thing. Become the woman who actually follows through. YouTube, in order for you guys to lock in. Okay, perfect. Give me 1 second, Hannah. You're going to leave my live and come to my YouTube channel and then click where it says stand.store. And here we are. Become the woman who actually follows through. And we have 2 more minutes left. It's marked on 2:49. Scroll down, enter your name, quadruple check your email address. You can use Afterpay or Klarna and then click start my glow up. And within 30 seconds, like I said, you should be receiving that very first email. Okay? Make sure you join though. I want you to actually enter, okay? I want you to actually enter. And like I said, even if you can't respond to my message right away, I need you to promise me that you're gonna respond before you go to sleep tonight, okay? We spent way too much time wasting time. We spent way too much time putting stuff off later. It's now. The time is now. Okay, so the quicker you can respond to my message, the quicker I can start figuring out how we're going to start you. What are we going to start with? Okay? I also need to know what your work schedule is like, your family schedule, because we're going to figure out what time works best for you. And then after you do it for a week, you may decide, you know what? I'm not a morning person. I actually want to spend time on my business in the afternoon. I actually want to spend time on my business after my children are asleep, not before they wake up. It doesn't matter, but we're going to figure that out. But we can't figure it out until you try certain things and then we see what works best for you. It's all trial and error, because once we do figure out what works best for you, well, now it's smooth sailing, because now we know what time you're going to be locking in. I know what days you're going to be locking in. I know everything. So now we're going to slowly start crawling before we walk, getting you out of that camera shyness, that live shyness, whatever it is you're struggling with. And we're going to build on it. We're going to create the foundation and slowly build on it, okay? So that's why I need you to make sure you guys are responding to me. There's a reason for the madness, okay? There's a reason for the madness. Okay, perfect. Let me check to make sure that that member count went up. Yes, I see you, so you are good. I'll be inside in like 2 seconds. You guys, the timer just went off. Tiffany, can you check your email for me? And sometimes the email from Jasmine Spencer, it might end up in your spam. It might end up in your promotional tab if you're using Gmail, okay? So refresh and check. I like to know everyone is inside before I get off of here. For the ladies who are still on the fence, one thing I can say to you is this. There's a reason why you're still here, okay? And it's not because of the music in the background, because that's YouTube. It's because deep down inside you know I can help you. I know you feel it in your soul. Because you could be anywhere online right now, but you chose to stay here for a reason. What I do know is, once I turn this live off, my voice does start to fade. And slowly but surely, you will fall right back into your old routines. Doom scrolling and talking about what you can't do and what's not gonna work for you. You are more and you are better than what you give yourself credit for. So, even if you decide that Glow Up Academy is not the space for you, I do need you to decide that you are worthy of 30 minutes a day to working on your business. You are worthy of 30 minutes a day and moving your body, eating healthy, and doing things that make you feel good. And do not ever let anyone convince you otherwise. Okay? And if you do want that accountability and that support, Glow Up Academy is the space for you. And I'm right here to help you. Okay? Okay. Hannah and Tiffany. Hello, hello. Did you get your email? I'm still waiting. I see Chrissy inside. Give y'all a few more seconds. Let me know that you are fully inside, please. I like to know where everyone is. Everyone is where they're supposed to be. Okay? Any last questions before we get off of here? I celebrate both my small and big achievements. I celebrate both of my small and big achievements. You don't only have to celebrate yourself when you make your first $1,000 or whatever it is, right? You could be celebrating yourself by saying, okay, I normally hit snooze on the weekend when my alarm goes off, but I actually got up. I'm proud of myself for the fact that as soon as I got up, I didn't scroll on social media and doom scroll for 30 minutes before I started my day. Clock it. Clock it. I'm proud of myself because I didn't think I was gonna have the energy to spend 30 minutes working on my ebook, but I actually did it. I want you to always be celebrating yourself and not by taking shots and going get food, okay? I mean, celebrating yourself by telling yourself how amazing you are, okay? You should always be doing that. I cannot stress this enough. The more you start to feel better about yourself, the better you show up for yourself, okay? I cannot stress that enough. Tiffany. Let me see. Christine. Yes, I see you. You're inside now. I see you. I'm just waiting on Tiffany to confirm, and then we are out of here. Good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday. Also, you guys, make sure y'all follow me so you do not lose me. They do steal my videos, unfortunately, especially on TikTok. YouTube, not so much, but TikTok, they do. Make sure you follow me so you do not lose me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. Okay. Okay. Let me check. I don't see you yet. Let me refresh my page. No, I don't see you inside yet. The yellow button. So inside the email that says Jasmine Spencer, there's a yellow button that says join now. I want you to click it. Click it. And within a few seconds, I should see that member count go up. That lets me know that you are inside and I'm able to message you. Okay? Okay. Perfect. All right, y'all, we're gonna head out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me YouTube. I post videos on Mondays and Wednesdays, so make sure you guys check those out. For those of you guys who joined, I'm hopping inside now. You'll be getting a message from me within the next 5 minutes. For those of you guys who didn't, very good. I'm glad you guys are getting the results that you want, and thank y'all so much for hanging out with me, okay? Have an amazing rest of your Sunday. Bye-bye. Bye, YouTube.